West, man. I passed out last night messing with Maria, you know what I'm saying? But we gonna go ahead and run this content, hit that like button. I don't think my IG is working, man. It's crazy. At least my IG should have been working. Yeah. I don't know what to do. Hit that like button. We definitely gonna get into the content. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, everyone. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna be doing a bunch of yelling and all of that, but you know what? It's the West Coast. It's Sunday. We're gonna talk about who is Tata, Lloyd Lake. Let's get into this already, man. While y'all hit that like button on your way in, let them know we live, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Let's get into this. West Coast, stand up. Sunday morning. Hold on.
Like that. Big wild. Head rush to my right. Call that.
Start that back off.
Sing that shit like this. Yeah. Like that. Big wild. Head rush to my right. Call that nigga sugar booger, bitch. Sing it. Yeah. Controversy. Always burn with me now. See ya. Come on. You ain't ready. Let's go.
These ladies thought that I was a star, cause I pulled up my loot and I purchased the bar. My whole life's been based around gunplay, but now I pull model bitches right up off the runway. Come fuck till we break the backboard with a rapper slash pimp slash extract lord. Bring your friends, she can switch with you. Live. Time to show you what the dick can do. It's time to work. The butterflies are gone. Stroke my dick with my hand, cause it turns you on. I feel for the man at home you live with. You're his lovely wife, tonight you're my bitch. I'm Y. Kelly, I got it all on tape. Don't forget to wipe the nut off your face. Yeah, let's go.
I like it when I lay on my back and play with the just like that.
Yeah, I like it when you scream like a freak and wet sheets, baby, just like that.
I like it when we sit on the sink at Club Mink, baby, just like that.
I like it when you call Monique and y'all freak, baby, just like that.
Let's make it official. Sugar Booger ain't giving no Every girl got a freaky side. Do you play with it when you're alone or like to ride? Doggy style, just flip your switch. Orgies with your dude and another bitch. Wild sex cause you flexible. Like sucking dick cause you turned on by facial expressions. Whoa, my word is good as gold. Give me some pussy on the DL and I will tell a soul. Chapter 3 your sex book. Booger heat up verses and make bitches fuck the hook.
I like it when I lay on my back and play with the just like that.
Yeah, I like it when you scream like a freak and wet sheets, baby, just like that.
Do you like it when we sit on the sink at Club Mink, baby, just like that?
I like it when you call Monique and y'all freak, baby, just
hit that
like
like
that.
button.
Surprised that all this dick you're taking, coming so hard, looking like your Harlem shaking. I hit 109 circles, killing cock on your magnet. Sweet daddy got dick, sweet daddy gets active. Like that,
No, like this.
Give it up, slide like this. Two-step, slide like this. Do the blood walk, I do mine like this. Look at mine, feel super down.
Hey.
Told all the homegirls, girl, he got dick. And now they wanna hit, and now they wanna flip. And rolling through the lanes, they probably crazy, but some dick. And guess what? Your baby mama get fooled here. Get her at the spot like an R. Kelly bootleg. It must be something about my young ass to get these dusty chickens sprung on my young ass.
I like it when I lay on my back and play with the just like that.
Yeah, I like it when you scream like a freak and wet sheets, baby, just like that.
Do you like it when we sit on the sink at Club Mink, baby, just like that?
Hit that like
I like
button.
it when you call Monique and y'all freak, baby, just like that. Yeah.
If you wanna party all night and drink some more, let me hear you holler now.
Yeah.
They just call last call, but if you wanna keep it cracking all night, let me hear you say. If you met somebody in the club and you ready to fuck, let me hear you say. Throw your motherfucking hands in the air and let's party. Come on. Come on. Yeah, another Head Rush Productions. Gratitude, Sugar Booger and Big Y. Featuring my crime, Be Brave. Like that. Brought to you by Hub City's Finest. Like that. Non-stop with it.
Hey, Lloyd, I'm saying one of the bros, hit that like button coming in. Who is Tata? Lloyd Lake. Shout outs Dago. You know what I'm saying? It's early in the morning. Brian Dow, salute from the ATL. Salute, King. You already know. Grand rises to all the out there. Nutty Hutchin was bragging, dog. Salute, King. Yeah, so who is Lloyd Lake, Tata? Well, that song we just knocked right now by the Relatives, classic, West Coast classic, right? Just like that. You know what I'm saying? But that like that featuring B Brazy, you know B Brazy gonna do his stuff. Rest in peace to Blood Brazy. You know what I'm saying? Now, I knew Big B Brazy. I don't know his young homie, you know, his baby homie, you know what I'm saying? But I know he getting his chalupa off that YouTube shit. If he not, he needs to be getting it because he definitely got it popping over there. But we live. Let's get to the second song, man. That was the Relatives Like That featuring B Brazy. Tata had released that on the Takeover. You know what I'm saying? Duse M is on the Takeover too. So I hope y'all got a little bit of respect. You know what I'm saying? Tata, for those who don't know, is someone I consider a close friend. You know what I'm saying? Businessman. This is what we really here to talk about, right? From growing up in San Diego to bringing out an independent record label, getting placements for artists like CJ Mack. We'll get into that. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, the Relative, B Brazy, Sugar Boogie, Big Y, right? Let me see what else we got. Let's go on this one. This was on the Two Gangster For Radio, CJ Mack. He helped engineer a lot of stuff in history of West Coast hip hop that people don't know. He was fucking with Death Row. He was fucking with Veggie Raw. You know what I'm saying? He was fucking with Suge, but Veggie Raw ended up taking over the fucking shit because Suge went to jail. But and he didn't just fuck with Suge, he fucked with the homies. You know what I'm saying? That's a dude that I really consider a homie, you know. But blessings to the king. It's been a lot of talk. They saying Lloyd Lake was a rat. And they're saying that he was a rat because of hit that like button, man. I see the people coming in, beautiful black ladies. Salute. Lloyd Tata Lake involved with killing Biggie and Reggie Wright and working with the police. He also a BA nigga. Alex Free Suge, I guess you really don't like him. So look, if he's a rat, where's the paperwork? Where's the paperwork? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. A dude such a reputable name. I'm quite sure if with all of the news articles on LA Times and all of that, we're finna get into some of that. But before we do, Lenny Love, what up, Steffi Weffy, salute. But while we doing that, we're gonna go ahead and get to this song, Maria. Let's go. Featuring Timbaland, produced by Timbaland. Let's go. We're gonna read one of these articles. You still ain't about that work, though. Just scratch your TV where the work at. Oh, y'all can't hear it? Hold on. Let me fix this. My bad. I thought y'all was listening to it. We'll start it back over. My bad. Hey, thanks for letting me know. Bless, you already know, King. Really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I thought y'all was listening to what we listen to. I know they hear it on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? My Instagram live wasn't working, but we gonna put it on. Let's get to this. Timberland, The Relatives, Maria featuring and produced by Timberland.
One time, two time, your baby daddy Timberland.
Oh yeah, I was shouting on my own. It's all right.
One time, I got you, baby. Relatives,
If
come
I
on.
could give her the world, I would.
Rest in peace, Big Wild.
Maria, she's a priceless pearl from the hood. But my trifling street tactics almost wore her woke. My intentions was to strike her body with work. She got a body that demands space. A thick, long brunette hair that hang down her waist. The girl make you wanna look her slow. Make her a wife, put her in a 6, 9, or 7, might be sick of her. But she hated my life was blood. Hated my business with her brother, but his ticket was love. See how I spin your mommy been I keep. I can't help it, I'm a gangster, but I wish you could be. You're hot, you make my body temperature raise a degree. Take my hand, there's a world to see. Baby, I know I'm a Diablo, but would you share one margarita with me on the sands of Cabo? For real.
It's a crying shame, girl, you're looking so good and don't extra jeans. I heard of that name, won't you come take a trip on my private plane? Oh, let's get it jumping. What's your nationality, Spanish or something? I got you, baby. I got you, baby.
It don't take five focus to see that. She the baddest thing on the streets. Believe that. Slam in the waist with a round shit. Maria ain't for no games. She bout paper. You a wife her first time you date her. Gigi Hunter dresses with the 6-inch gators. She turned players into haters. Thugs into busters. The way this girl walks, she a fine mother. In the new X2-seater. Dirty rice, flowers of tears. Tequila lime, stripper heels. She'll walk the pinata with candy in the middle. I done see some bad balls with this girl Maria. She'll make you wanna eat that. So what a salsa class and the mark is at. Shake, 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 shake. Shake that, pop that, drop that, baby, let's go. You know you shaking the thing, now you got the whole club screaming you now. Don't you know you a star? Let your head down, drop it.
Anthony Thomas, salute. Hit that like button on the way in.
Shake that, pop that, drop that, baby, let's go. It's a cold bang, now she take the heart of a thug. The party switched to slow motion when she walked through the club. Some dressed with so much ass, so much class. Feet showing saddles tied around in cash. Full throttle, in the passenger seat of the bed, looking like a runway model. She'll make you feel intimidated, cause most chicks is overrated. So tell me what you think,
I thought you could be a dime piece. Or she might be a hood rat. She might be a model girl. A model.
Shout out to Timberland for that dope ass beat. Rest in peace to the homie Big Y. Shout out to nigga Dog, Sugar Booger. Congratulations. If y'all in LA, stop by that barbecue spot right there on El Segundo and Western, nigga. Over here between Normandy and Western. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into this about Lloyd Lake, right? Hit that like button. Bless said he loved that West Coast G-Funk. Love two weirdo gangsters. So you had that song right there, Maria with The Relative. So this is how Lloyd Lake steps in the game, right? He got some hard ass gangster rappers, B Brazy, Big Y, Sugar Booger, right? Arguably some of the best gangster rappers that ever done it, right? Banging on all of these dudes got the history from the Banging on Wax and the DAMU Riders thing. Rest in peace to B Brazy. I was able to really bick it with the homie to get to know the homie. You know what I'm saying? BIP the Spider too. But Lil Hawk was in jail. But outside of Lil Hawk and Spider and a couple of other homies that was in the Banging on Wax, this was like the best commercial hit that came after the Banging on Wax, the DAMU Riders. It was like a time period, right? So Tata comes in the game with that. Then he followed it with this song, Fuck Mac 10. They wasn't feeling Mac 10. Rest in peace to Red Rum. You know what I'm saying? Stand on the media. Salute, salute, salute. Duse M, the Don, King J, salute. Salute. Everybody hit that like button if y'all just coming in. You know what I'm saying? We live on Twitch, Instagram, all of that. But let's get to this article real quick, right? Since these people are saying Tata is a rat, this is what these niggas are saying, but they ain't produced no paperwork. Discretion TV, respectfully, I would like to think that you do a lot bit more investigative journalism. You know what I'm saying? To be putting jackets on motherfuckers that you don't even know what the fuck you talking about. Let's start right there. You know what I'm saying? I like the channel, react to your work. You fuck Veggie wrong, I'm fuck Veggie wrong, right? You've been doing it way longer than me on the YouTube. Salute to you for that. But what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. You understand what I'm saying? So you saying that Lloyd Lake, Tata, my nigga, that I was in Victorvile federal prison with, the one that brought out the relative, the one that introduced me to Sugar Booger, the one that introduced me to CJ Mack, the one who was supposed to be behind Active Chuck financially, and the projects that I was supposed to be doing. You don't even know this man. I mean, you know that he has a relationship with Veggie Wrong. He got money with Veggie Wrong, but really he was getting money with Death Row. He was selling songs to Death Row, music to Death Row. And we'll be able to show y'all some of the discography, the years it was gone, and the production credits that they got, the 2 Gangster For Radio section. I think he did like 3 songs was sold to Death Row for that. In fact, that was all part of an investigation on Tata. Let's get to this article real quick. Hit that like button if y'all just coming in. We gonna really do a Suge Knight contract enforcer. I hope y'all seeing this. You know what I'm saying? I really hope y'all seeing this. Hit the like button. Imagine that. They say a Suge Knight enforcer. You can file this one under the "you just can't make this stuff up" file. According to Charles Robinson, Yahoo sports writer and one of the leading figures in reporting the sordid details of the Reggie Bush scandal. The actor-comedian referred to the NCAA report is not Will Ferrell, as I speculated. According to Robinson, the unnamed person in question is in fact Faison Love, comedian, actor Faison Love, big perm, big worm, yeah. And the details of Lloyd Lake and company trying to force Bush to uphold his end of the illicit deal get interesting, to put it mildly. Hear how he recounted the events a couple of hours ago on Twitter. So Lloyd Lake and Faison Love, and they're saying Suge Knight, right, are all trying to tell Reggie Bush he must uphold his Q-banger, salute, fool, Rico the Great. He must uphold his end of an illicit deal to sign with Lloyd Lake's sporting agency, right? They had financing through the Native American. Salute to the Native Americans in the United States. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get to that also. But here was some of the key facts that came out. The actor comedian on page 25 is not Will Ferrell. Okay, so here's the deal. At one point when this got crazy, Lloyd Lake reached out to Suge Knight to resolve his dispute with Reggie Bush. As in Suge Knight, Death Row Records CEO and man who supposedly hung Vanilla Ice off of a hotel balcony by his legs. Lloyd did this through Faison Love, an actor and comedian who has been in a lot of movies and on TV. Anyway, a lot of people freaked out and got really scared when Suge Knight supposedly got involved with the whole thing. It scared people. This was always the well, getting Suge Knight to talk about how he was asked to settle the dispute between Bush and New Era Sports, right? Hit that like button, share the live. If you on Instagram, share the live. If you on YouTube, I mean, we just gonna really give y'all and enjoy this festivious event. We're all alive. It's Sunday morning. It's all opportunities to get bigger bags and early morning content with Duse M, the DAMU KIWE Conversations. Somebody send the link to Yael. My bad. I didn't even do it. I just went because we have to get this content out. But that's wild stuff, to put it mildly. But in all honesty, it is perhaps nothing very unusual, since these illicit agreements are not enforceable contracts in a court of law. Now, for those who don't, not really into sports and don't know what happened, back then, college football, the NCAA, had policies, and it was illegal to accept gifts and all of this and do business for student athletes. Right now, we got the NIL, which legalized it, and now salute to all of those young athletes not being exploited as bad as they were before and having new rights, you know what I'm saying, and able to get their own money. But at this time, you could argue that this being one of the biggest sports scandal in history of college football, Reggie Bush had to lose his Heisman, right? This might have been exactly what started a desire to make sure those kids wasn't getting exploited like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So here it go. Either way, it's hard to dispute Robinson's take on the subject as of right now. He and his colleagues have been vilified for years by USC supporters, but this day has been nothing if not vindication for them. His claims may not be correct in this particular instance, but he has been correct on much of the Reggie Bush melodrama to date, and it is admittedly hard to see why he would risk his well-earned credibility at this point on such wild claims that he wasn't absolutely certain to be true, especially on the day where he and his organization had years of work vindicated by the Committee on Infractions. So basically, the USC perspective, right? USC football, we didn't have a NFL team at the time. And it was star-studded events. Pistol Pete Carroll, Coach Carroll was the coach, right? He's active in the community with Better LA and all of these other things. He's heavily in the whole city's motivation is crazy. Matt Leinart, right? You got what was his name? The other one, Lindell White. You know what I'm saying, nigga? These niggas is both rushing for 100 yards a game. Lindell Wright and Reggie Bush, right? So, this scandal, I was in the feds when all of this shit break on the news. I'm with Tata. This scandal comes about. He was already dating Kim Kardashian. He's at the Laker games. Well, y'all know how he was able to afford such a comfortable life? Because Tata, not Tata per se, but his sports agency had a legal agreement with Reggie Bush. Paid for his parents' home, his stepdad had the agreement. All of these facts come out over time, and throughout the investigation. But you want to know how the investigation, the nigga that they call a rat, this is nasty work, bro. This is why a lot of these dudes that ain't from the community need to shut their dick trappers, they dick gobblers. If you don't know what the fuck you talking about, it's okay to say, I'm not that familiar. I don't know if that's true. So you got these dudes saying Tata's a rat because the Reggie Bush deal. Now, he has an illegal deal with Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush knows it's illegal. The day of the draft, Reggie Bush, after receiving these gifts, treated to the spotlight, got the TMZ on him, all of this shit. Him and Kim Kardashian, they power couple in the in crowd, in the paparazzi's glistening eyes, right? And he say, you know what, Tata, I'm not signing with y'all shit. I'm going with the Mountaineers. Yeah, what up, bro? We live from the yesterday link. You should have yesterday's link. Pull up. We going in. Oh, y'all can't even see it. So let me see what this is. Oh yeah, that's not the one. We get to that one next. Oh, that one is deep. That one is super deep. But yeah, this whole Death Row, Suge Knight versus Veggie Wrong, Whack 100, all of that shit. We gonna get to the get down with the get down. But first, I want y'all. Let's go to this one. I think this is it. Let's go here. So, top of the top, bro. We live right now. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into the meat on the bones for all of these disgraces of journalists. These dudes are really disgraces. They have no integrity. And if you have no integrity behind your litigation, yeah, Reggie Bush. If you have no integrity behind your journalism, you just throw and disrespect people who you definitely wouldn't be disrespecting if you were face to face with them. You just label this dude a rat. This dude's a businessman. This nigga's a San Diego player, a real bona fide hustler. Y'all calling him a rat because of Reggie Bush. But let me tell y'all a little bit about this, right? The Associated Press is reporting that the San Diego United States Attorney's Office has issued multiple witnesses in a probe into whether New Orleans Saints running back Reggie Bush took cash and gifts while in college. The AP says the existence of tape conversations between Reggie Bush or members of his family and an investor. So they saying that there exists a tape conversation between Reggie Bush or members of his family and an investor in a failed sports marketing agency who had this illegal deal with him. Well, that's Lloyd Lake. That's Tata. That was, what was it, New Era Sports or whatever the defunct sporting agency was. But if they could confirm the New Orleans Saints running back received cash and gifts while playing for Southern California, Yahoo.com reported Wednesday, right? A federal investigation into extortion claims by Bush and his family revealed the existence of the tape conversations according to Yahoo report. So y'all calling the homie Tata a rat, right? And Reggie, because y'all saying he snitched on Reggie Bush. But Reggie Bush and his family backed out of the deal that they knew they weren't supposed to be in the first place. You know what I'm saying? After receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars in gifts and a home and et cetera, right? Mortgage payments, everything, right? They taking care of the kid. And then he leaves and calls them the day of the draft and says he's going to sign with the Mountaineers. All right, well, just pay me back my money plus extra. Give me $1.5 million plus the taxes. I'm not doing that. You're trying to extort me. His family and Reggie Bush contacted the federal authorities telling them that this legal deal that Tata has with Reggie Bush, giving gifts and money to his family, him, etc., while he was in college, which was prohibited, right? Is now trying to extort him because he want his money plus some. You breached the contract. But in California, a verbal agreement, which is legally called an express contract or an expressed agreement, is as good as a contract in the California. So it was no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But let's get back to it. He put the feds on Tata. Now you got the feds on him, and because Suge tried to intervene, now Tata's caught up in the death row investigation. I'm saying, where's the paperwork that Tata told on Reggie Bush? Tata filed a civil suit. He wanted his money. Whether that was illegal or not, I gave this dude and had this agreement. Well, let's hear about what really happened. I mean, gangsters file lawsuits, right? Gangsters is, especially when you in it. Now we're talking about a businessman. He's a rat because he filed a lawsuit about money owed to him. After this nigga is claiming I'm extorting him. So what if that was me and I'm a street nigga? I'm gonna come get my money. I would have did some other shit. But this businessman who brought out the relatives, has a sports agency, done business with Death Row Records, right? He does what he's supposed to do as a businessman and files the lawsuit against Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush trying to put him in jail in the feds for extortion, but he files a civil suit and he's the snitch. A federal investigation into extortion claims by Bush and his family revealed the existence of the tape conversation, according to the Yahoo report. Is that saying Reggie Bush and his family was recording Tata? So now this investigation for extortion is going targeting Tata. According to a copy of a subpoena obtained by Yahoo.com, at least one of the witnesses was asked to hand over any recordings in your possession of conversations between Lloyd Lake and Reggie Bush, Denise Griffin, or Lamar Griffin. Multiple sources told Yahoo.com that Lake made the tapes in late 2005 to protect his financial. Oh no, so they said Tata got the recorded conversation to protect his financial investment if Bush backed out of a deal to sign with New Era Sports and Entertainment, founded by Lloyd Lake and San Diego businessman Michael Michaels. In January 2006, Bush signed with agent Joel Siegel and marketing agent Mike Ornstein. Right? What up, Selena? What's happening? We live right now. We live. Hit that like button on y'all way in. Early morning with Duse M. We got the content, man. So, very interesting. Very, very interesting. The guy who gets his money ran off by this superstar college athlete, outrageous speed, ended up helping a team to a Super Bowl at the highest level in college, breaking records, right? Their offense, period, was breaking records. Right? The nigga looked out for him and his family with the agreement that he was signing with their sports agency. Now, what they're not saying is that Tata had backing, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Financial backing. Not only did he have money, right? See, I know Tata, so I know his story, right? Tata was outside doing what he was doing, got his record label. His mother passed on the lotto, nigga. His sister's the news woman. Well, not anymore, but she was the news anchor, right? Lisa Campbell. So once his mom hit the she would do anything to help support him, but that's not who he was. He was a go-getter. This nigga's a bona fide hustler, a businessman. See, it's levels to this shit, and y'all really be like trying to make applicable standards in the community and this whole online don't snitch policy that aren't even applicable in the gang community. It's not call a nigga a snitch and he got to prove that he's not a snitch. You don't put that type of label, which is a death sentence in some places throughout LA. You don't put that kind of label on a man without producing the paperwork. That's what CS2 back did to me. So if you on that side of the table where you're condoning that type of behavior, that's really indicative of your character itself. So this nigga done got a federal investigation into extortion claims on the homie Tata, Lloyd Lake, who's trying to collect his investment through his At some point, Faison Love got in. At another point, Nino Black, salute, homie. King J, salute, hit the like and activate them chucks, man. Listen, it's Sunday. We turned up. We got the content, though. While niggas is asleep, Duse M is up because I passed out last night and didn't do my live. I was tired, man. You know what I'm saying? So, Steffi Weffy's like, I remember this early 2000s fact. You know what I'm saying? So, let's get to this. So mind you, this nigga that started extortion thing, but I don't need my money. Fuck what y'all niggas in the streets is talking about. Fuck all of that. I'm a businessman, and this nigga ran off with my money, right? Bro, I got to give you credit. You've been very informative on LA street culture, on what's acceptable and not acceptable. Hey, salute Doski, the Gemini on IG. We on YouTube right now, though, bro. That's why I got the thing right there. We on Twitch, Facebook, Lamonte Sims, Instagram, but and YouTube, Active Chucks, and Lamonte Sims. So I don't want to go too far off the topic. Last week, MF was on this show talking about, and it's in some states to record someone without their knowledge or consent is illegal. Right. If MF know they're being recorded, you'll never get the truth out of them. Well, you know, these dudes are detectives, but for not doing investigative research as journalists, these niggas do detective work now, but they call niggas rats. So they didn't labeled him a rat. He files the civil suit. So then it comes out that the peoples is adamantly dying. Let's get into this real quick, and then we'll go back to who this dude really is. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, here we go. Let's get to this. The tribe denies link with Reggie, but with Bush prospective agent. So the Indian tribe, Native American, let me not be disrespectful, right? They're denying that they have any links with Reggie Bush prospective agent, right? That they're not connected to Tata, right? But why would you get a company, the casino, the people that own the casinos, the Native Americans, right? Why would they feel the need to deny being tied to Lloyd Lake publicly? This is on ESPN, right? This is how big this shit is, right? This is April 26, 2026. So arguably, this might be the case, the Reggie Bush case, which ended up helping these kids get their rights through what they're doing with the NIL today, right? Because it was really, Reggie Bush definitely got harsher treatment, and they were trying to make an example of him. You know what I'm saying? On some, you boys don't make no money unless we makes the money off of you. We gave you a $50,000 college scholarship, so you can't make no money nowhere else. Not off of your name and image. We own you, boy. They had that mentality. All of the millions and billions made off of paraphernalia, games utilizing these athletes' images. So now the tribe denies the link with Bush prospective agent. A powerful Indian tribe said it has nothing to do with an attempt by one of his members to steer Heisman Trophy winner Reggie Bush to a newly formed marketing company. This Sayoquan, I hope I said that, the Sayoquan tribe said Tuesday it was approached last fall by tribal members Michael C. Michaels. That was Tata's business partner who created New Era Sports and Entertainment, LLC, with his partner, Lloyd Lake, a documented gang member now serving time in prison for a probation violation. So they're labeling Tata a gang member. They always say you're a gang member if you associate with any Bloods, Crips, or SAs. That's just what they do. So you can't associate with anybody who's a gang member, but I do music. So I associate in entertainment. I associate with all kind of people from all kind of walks. People from Kansas who had dreams of being videographers that moved to Los Angeles to live out their dreams. But you label me a gang member. Where's the proof that he's a gang member or a gangbanger? See, now mind you, this is on the ESPN site. So Tata's in jail. I'm in jail with Tata at that time, right? He didn't fuck with too many people. We dealt with each other every day, chopping it up. I'm rapping and all kind of shit. But at that time, he was vouching for Suge. I just got off the phone with Simon and talking about different business moves that he had put together, etc., with Suge, and indirectly with Reggie Wright Jr. He sold Reggie Wright Jr. 3 songs for the 2 Gangster For Radio Death Row album, executive produced by Suge Knight. But they don't get on there if Tata don't convince them that the relatives was the hottest shit in the streets, and they was. 2 men reportedly attempted to compel Bush to sign with the San Diego agent, David Caravantes, who is certified to negotiate NFL contract. Caravantes represents 6 players, none of them considered stars according to NFL Player Association records. Bush didn't sign with New Era Sports or Caravantes, who did not return phone messages and emails seeking comment Tuesday. Bush's family lived in a house owned by Michaels for nearly a year. So the house that Reggie Bush and his family lived in for nearly a year was owned by Michaels, who was Lloyd Lake's business partner, right? Black Neek, what up, sis? We live on YouTube, we on Twitch. So several sources reported Sunday that the family moved out last weekend after questions over his ownership arose. So now they looking guilty. And so what they say, because they're looking guilty, is Tata's trying to extort. The Pac-10 beginning a federal investigation. The Pac-10 says Sunday that it will investigate whether any NCAA rules were violated when Bush's family, including mother Denise Griffin, stepfather Lamar Griffin, and brother Jovan Griffin, lived in the house in the San Diego suburb of Spring Valley while Bush was still playing for Southern California last season. NCAA rules prohibit student athletes and their families from receiving extra benefits from agents or their representatives. On Tuesday, a Pac-10 conference official confirmed to the Los Angeles Times that the NCAA is working with the conference. We're moving on it, said Ron Barker, the Pac-10's Associate Commission For enforcement, we have made some progress and we'll go from there. Just think about it. From the Pac-10 to the Pac-12 to almost where nobody dwells. Damn. Also, to that Tuesday, they were the elite in the Pac-10. Dynasty. This has all been blown out of proportion due to my public image. Bush said at a press conference announcing his multi-year deal with Adidas on Wednesday. There's nothing to worry about. We've done nothing wrong. This is what he's saying, right? We've done nothing wrong. My pastor at church told me that what's going on now is similar to a horse race. Bush told ESPN, the horses come out of the gate with blinders on. The reason they do this is so they don't get distracted. Well, that's how I am with this. I'm focused on what is ahead. On Monday, Bush told ESPN that his parents leased the house like any other parent. Bush has spoken to USC faculty athletic representative Noel Ragsdale. According to the Daily News, Ragsdale will forward his information onto the Pac-10 conference and the NCAA. How many 20-year-old kids know what their parents pay for rent? Bush's current marketing advisor, Mike Orstein, said Monday, according to the Daily News, I have no idea what my mother pays for rent. So he's trying to play like he didn't know nothing about it and he's being extorted. This is what he's trying to do. Sanctions for USC could include forfeiting victories in last season's conference title. The big issues are going to be, number one, did he or his family receive any type of benefit that was motivated by his playing ability? They'll first go down that route. An NCAA source familiar with the compliance issues told the Daily News. He or his family cannot profit from his potential future. Any deal with an agent or for marketing later, if the benefits were given to his parents, would be a violation of amateurism rules. Meanwhile, the Saquon tribe continued to distance itself from the controversy. There was a request to become partners in this new era sports, says Adam Day, Saquon's assistant tribal manager. Both the tribal council and the Development Corporation Board of Directors refused to join the business venture. Michaels is an example of the Tribal Development Corporation. He did not immediately return phone calls Tuesday seeking comment. Also Tuesday, they disputed unsworn court testimony in which Caravantes linked New Era Sports and Entertainment with Saquon, which is located in eastern San Diego County and has annual revenue estimated at $250 million. $250 million a year. The Saquon's got that bag. And Tata and his business partner is claimed that, and they're trying to tie Saquon to Lloyd Lake Tata, and they're saying they were approached, but there was nothing definite, and they didn't want to join the sports agency. Well, as Reggie Bush didn't ever sign, I'm sure the agreement was something like this. If you can secure Reggie Bush on your we got you with the bag. And that's what was basically, it appears, what was going on, right? And they making $250 million a year. They trying to make sure for marketing and everything, they got Reggie Bush locked in. Their sport agency is now going to start bringing in top-notch quality, first-round NFL draft picks. It was a win-win. But this nigga didn't understand. This nigga flipped the script and ran with the Mountaineers. Then said Lloyd Lake Tata tried to extort him. Let's see what they talking about in the chat. Was that the year they lost to Texas? Now all of this was after they lost to Texas. They had already lost to Texas. He was already in the NFL by the time all of this articles and stuff came out. Whatever happened to Reggie Bush, he fell off from the spotlight since he had his Heisman taken away. Well, I don't know. There's argument that he should get his Heisman back because now the rules would permit it. Deuce, y'all, chat, what's happening? Salute, bro. Uh-oh, Sunday service. Hey, family. What up? Come on to Philly. When has it become G to call someone a rap without paperwork? Yeah, this shit is this is out of hand, bro. And they get paid for these lives, for these videos, so they're incentivized to continue doing that disrespectful and dangerous cyberbullying. Like they could just get away with it. I'm an entity. Y'all lucky. I'm petty as a motherfucker. I had your ass in court, nigga, seeing what you got up in your bank account. You know what I'm saying? Lie on me. CS2 back. Lucky because he was a blood, I didn't get on him. But he getting that World Star work. He's getting that World Star hip hop lawsuit. Just jumped in. What's your topic? Oh, we're talking about who is Lloyd Lake? Tata. Right? I remember when Reggie Bush got in trouble for taking gifts, it was a big scandal. Fact. That's what we're talking about. These dudes is saying that Lloyd Lake Tata is a rat. He ratted on Reggie Bush. But we just found out Reggie Bush didn't pay Tata and sign with that sports agency. And when niggas told him, well, just pay me back my money plus, the nigga said, I ain't paying you nothing. And so now he goes and tells them he's being extorted by Tata, starting a whole federal investigation. Then an NCAA probe. Then a probe into University of Southern California. This was huge. You know what I'm saying? But this was the background. The Indians got that money, man. Nigga, $250 million. They trying to get in. This the type of plays that Tata put together. This is where his mind is at. A businessman, right? So we finished with that article. Let's get into some. We're gonna get back into some of this music. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to Gangster For Radio, right? Tata was very instrumental in giving them probably the best songs on that compilation, right? Funny thing about Tata is he's saying shit that a dead man allegedly said to him about Suge. What did he say? Jamie of BA7. What did he say? You talking about Buntry? Is this why they took his Heisman Trophy? Cold work, though. Cold work, yeah. Call me one goddamn, because hell yeah, I'll sue a son of a bitch if I can't get to my money. You owe, you pay. Didn't they put Reggie Bush family in the crib? Yeah. Over $300,000 in gifts. Laker tickets, so him and Kim K is front row seat at the Laker game. Everything. You know what I'm saying? This is an investment. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, he was supposed to record them motherfuckers. Beautiful black lady, get with a gangster for Philly. Selena, what up? Like I said early, recording a motherfucker is the only way you're going to get niggas with favoritism to show a motherfucker's true colors. Because if they know they being recorded, they going to lie and put on the front. No, I get that. Now, if you recording a nigga talking about crime and you bring that public, then you hot. You know what I'm saying? That's some snitch shit. I want what I want, even in journalism. I mean, right now, I'm recording right now. I'm recording right now. Yeah. He said Bunchy slapped Suge and Suge ran. I heard that before too, bro. I mean, if you don't want to believe it, you ain't got to believe it. I believe it happened. I want what I want. Big sights, but I know Tata, so I understand and give credence to things he say that maybe y'all wouldn't give credence to. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because of your pre-arranged belief of who these people is. But look, so two Gangster For Radio come out. Veggie Wrong, Pork Butt. Check this out, Pork Butt. Didn't your fat ass flame my nigga Scandalous up with that bullshit you did? You put your shit up. All Scandalous does is journalistic research. And he takes your lies. He's exposed the exposers. And you're as good as an exposer. He shows the contradictions and inconsistency in your fat ass lying stories, nigga. That's all he do. And you report it, my nigga. We'll get to a Scandalous video after we finish talking about Tata, but let's get into the music thing. So that he got this play with Reggie Bush going on. He also got two Gangster For Radio, the Death Row compilation, released on September 26, 2000. Production was handled by Code 187. Salute to Butter Law, real veterans off the West Coast. Y'all be slipping on. BreakBread Productions. That's Lloyd Lake Tata, right? Kenny McLeod, QD3, Quincy Jones III. That's Quincy Jones' son. Big Hollins, Black Tovin, Daz Dillinger. So Daz, all of them, right? Had features with the Young Hogs, Ja Rule, Scarface, The Locks, Tretch, the Butterlaw, CJ Mack, you know what I'm saying? So this is the type of business that Tata got going on, managing and running his record label, BreakBread Productions, right? I fucks with your channel, Key Grind Pimps, Oakland, California. Salute to the biggity O, East Oakland, West Oakland. Y'all already know what it is. Jot G, you know what I'm saying? Electric paperwork, a nigga recorded being truthful, thinking he's saying it on the low. I've been up since Thursday, only taking naps for an hour or so. Oh, yeah, man. Salute. So facts. Yeah, bro, it's facts. So he's putting together moves and deals like this. This is when he met Reggie Wright Jr. Suge is in jail. They buying his shit. Nino Black say, I was at Talladega when this went down. Deuce, I used to love watching. Used to play back then. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into one of these songs, man, and then we're going to get back into the content. I told y'all we celebrating. You know what I'm saying? See, you just got to call these niggas out on their bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So this whole scandal is going down. The death row investigation is going down, right? Now let me show you something else. Okay, so the tribe, they denied that they were with New Era Sports, right? So the judge ends up asking Reggie Bush, let me see, for ordering a disposition. Reggie Bush couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get to one of the songs that he had sold to Death Row Records. Let's get into this. Shout out CJ Mack, man. CJ Mack does fuck with the DAMU KIWE Conversation content. He checks us out. He be feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hit the Sherman, Get the Square Mind. Steve J, Twisted, Getting Rich. Ain't nobody dissing this. We who, bang. That's that. I ain't fucking with you. CJ Mack, Lloyd Lake, Tata sold that song to Death Row. Death Row had the bag. They definitely was buying dope street music from independent street artists, man. It was crazy because so much other stuff was going on. So we played the Like That featuring B Brazy. We went into the Timberland produced Maria song. Then you got the CJ Mack song. This dude is helping dudes eat, man. This dude is on his business. He's connected and he's making plays in entertainment, not just a music executive like Suge was. He's more following kind of like what Jay Prince was doing. You know what I'm saying? And expanded understanding that the music was the smallest bag. You know what I'm saying? It's everything once you got that platform that you utilize to generate money from that target market. that segmented demographic, being able to understand that demographic. He's actually had to exhibit those skills, understand that genre, and he putting together these moves. Now nigga put the feds on him. He's caught up in a federal investigation. Death Row's under federal investigation. FBI, DEA, ATF. Oh man, it's crazy, right? So the courts ordered this nigga Reggie Bush to do a deposition, which means he would. Well, we'll get into it. It's going to tell you right now. Let's go. So you got go on to what you call it. So after he accused this man of being an extortionist, right? Reggie Bush claims he had nothing to do with nothing, but Reggie Bush avoids the court-ordered deposition by settling with Lloyd Lake. Oh, you're lying. You're trying to extort me. We never took anything from y'all. You know what I'm saying? I never told you guys I was going to sign with you guys. Facts, Bird. This should have always been that. But at the same time, it tarnished these guys' career, and now it's okay. Yeah, that's crazy. Lloyd Lake, a rat. Like weirdo. See, here go red eye, real eye. So realize, let me tell you this, and now we're gonna get rid of your bitch ass, right? Bring the paperwork, and I apologize for calling you a bitch and a liar. You understand what I'm saying? Bring the paperwork of him, because we just read the paperwork that Reggie Bush put the feds on Lloyd Lake. So you're talking about Lloyd Lake told on Reggie Bush? When Reggie Bush said that he's trying to extort him, that he never took no gifts? Well, hold on. Let's listen to you, because you had to get that from Reggie's camp. This is ridiculous. Or you're just unlearned. Last week, a judge ordered Saints running back Reggie Bush to submit to a deposition. It's a fancy legal word for sitting down and talking. In the lawsuit filed against him by Lloyd Lake, one of the owners of long defunct New Era Sports and Entertainment, whose first client was supposed to be Reggie Bush. Charles Robinson and Jason Cole of Yahoo Sports report that with the deposition set for Friday, Bush has settled the case. Right? Reggie Bush settles the case. We assume the looming mandate to give sworn testimony under penalty of perjury was merely a coincidence. You know, you didn't want the truth to come out after you done lied and called this man an extortionist, right? Got him caught up in a federal investigation. So Lloyd Lake and his partner Michael Michaels claimed that they gave Bush and his family cash and other benefits while Bush was still playing college football at USC. If true, Bush could lose his eligibility retroactively, and ultimately be required to send his Heisman Trophy to Titans quarterback Vince Young. So I knew they took his Heisman, but they made the Heisman go to Vince Young. Also, Robinson and Cole point out something that we either didn't know or had forgotten. Despite having no obligation to do so, Bush submitted to an interview with the NCAA last year, and he denied any wrongdoing. He said he had no wrongdoing, but then here you go. Settling out with Lloyd Lake and New Era defunct sports agency, right? So our lawyers want us to point out that we don't know whether Bush lied to the NCAA. Otherwise, we could be sitting down and talking at some point too. So because of the agreement, all what they agreed to with Lloyd Lake is undisclosed, non-disclosure agreements as part of them getting the millions that they got out of the settlement, right? I can't confirm or deny if it was 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4. I can't. It's not my position. But he said he didn't do nothing wrong. He said he was being extorted. Come to find out, this was all legitimate. Back and the only thing was wrong is they were doing it, which was against NCAA regulations. So NCAA wasn't able to see what they agreed to was part of the but they still took all of his stuff or whatever because he settled. So let's see where we at. Boom. Let's cover it, close this up. So this is what we're talking about. Where the dude realize that? Because if he ain't got that paperwork, he finna get shot. Well, I know he ain't got no paperwork, so he's out of here. How about that? Put him in timeout. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't no motherfucking paperwork, you weirdo. You niggas be putting that jacket on niggas. That is not cool. Very true, G, but even Bush didn't have a steady football career in the NFL. He ended up getting more notice as a commentator. Nah, he won a Super Bowl, Selena. He won a Super Bowl. He won, even in college, he won a Heisman, even though they took it. He won a Super Bowl with the Saints. He definitely was one of those scat bats that catches out the backfield, did kickoff and punt returns at his beginning of his career. So he was definitely a professional and had success at the next level. I mean, you don't get more respect than having a Super Bowl ring. That means you did your part just enough. Ra is the son, by the way. I don't say good morning. Nobody's in mourning. Right. Kids of Barber, salute. Y'all hit that like button if y'all come in. We still on our planet Earth. Okay, as we is supposed to be. Kids of Barber, salute. Keith McCulley, salute. So look, I know it's early. I know y'all like why we doing that. We're going to give y'all 2 lives today because I passed out last night. But we had to get this out here. G-Mac, 2-1, all good. I'm packing up now. I'm getting ready to roll to Cali. Had a blast in Nashville. Salute, bro. I'm glad you did, man. Listening to country music in Nashville. That's the trucker's life, man. I listen. I love sports, G-Dog. Monique Hill. You might know this man, G-Dog, since you in Philly. Cameron. Hey, nigga, what is you doing? I had 2 British 12s in my first car and seen the CD fucking slapped. With a move like Bush and his family made, because I'm sure they were making the decision, he lucky he was physically able to play in the NFL. Yeah, Keith McCulley, salute. About to dance in the middle of Trader Joe's. Y'all, hey, Steffi Weffy go sway that thing in Trader Joe's. So come on YouTube if you want to do it. G-Mac 2-1. Yeah, boy, Reggie Bush got his Heisman back and he's suing the NCAA for millions. I forgot y'all West Coast. G-Mac, glad you have fun. I told you I need recommendations for my trip. It's 8:30 here, BBL. G-Mac Nashville. I love it, man. That's a music town. That's all I do is listen to music all day. I got it playing in the background. Hey, well, listen. You might want to go ahead and get caught up on my catalog. I need to build equity in that motherfucker. Jeff, even though a lot of it's so old, outdated. Jeffrey Griffin, peace, Duse M, and DAMU KIWE Conversations, man. Peace to you, King. So now you got the Tupac and the Death Row investigation going at the time. The nigga Reggie Bush settles out, right? He gives Tata the bag, even though he claims no wrongdoing. Tata and his business partner and their defunct, now defunct sports agency gets the bag from Reggie Bush for an undisclosed amount. You know what I'm saying? And Tata wrote a book about it. You can check out the book by Don Yeager, Tarnished Heisman, right? It's on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? You can check it all out. It goes all the way through everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Reggie Bush getting his Heisman trophy back after it was taken, you know? So salute to him. I'm glad he got his Heisman back. And he said he's suing the NCAA. Hey, listen, I told y'all that was a monumental moment in the high left college football players feeling that these universities is making billions off of them and their image with different licenses agreements and all kind of stuff, merchandise and everything else, and they only could get and are restricted because they're giving them the education. That's bullshit. I'm going in July for my B-Day, Bird. Go Mac is telling me Deuce woke up people early. Right, Lolly need to get ready for work. Hey, listen, bro. I was supposed to did this last night. This is some really good content. And it was really important to me, for my homeboy Tata. Y'all could diss Reggie Wright. Fuck Veggie wrong. Y'all could talk shit to him. That's not my friend. You know what I'm saying? Every time I talk to him, I record him and I line his ass up. You know what I'm saying? Don't mean we put it all out. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, how else you supposed to get up on a snake? From afar? You'll never be able to get close enough to cut his head off. Guillotine, nigga. You know what I'm saying? This is the part that I'm talking about. You know, but I guess y'all aren't as strategic or don't think as strategically as you do when you see pieces of shit like Reggie Wright Jr. The eyewitness and suspect in multiple houses. The eyewitness and suspect in multiple houses. The same one that was a deacon at the church selling work. The same guy, this is his moral standard. This is how low and crooked he always is. The ultimate hypocrisy. He was a cop, a crooked cop, and a criminal. So I get it. And understand that these allegations that Suge is making might have more validity to it than we like to admit. Because I wouldn't believe Suge was a rat if I didn't believe the information that and allegations he was pointing fingers at. On the biggest platform. On the biggest platform. This nigga made sure everybody watched him point fingers. Nino Brown. If I go down, this ain't just Nino Brown. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than Nino Brown. In 30 minutes, I'm good, I guess. It's just more written songs. It's definitely a business that can perpetuate a generational wealth. Hey, facts, Loop and Loop. And Tata understood that, and he was diversifying his businesses catalogs. A serial entrepreneur. This is the guy that we're calling a rat because he filed a lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? So Regge Bush was on the bullshit. That's the point. But these niggas run with Regge Bush shit when we just read Regge Bush put this nigga under a federal investigation and then later settled under NDA, you know what I'm saying, with that sports agency. And Tata being, you know, co-owner of New Era Sports. That dude is always in here talking shit. Yeah, that dude, he's gone. And it's cool that he could come talk shit. I got fans, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm talking about, don't be on here disrespecting nobody hood, right? Don't be on here calling niggas rats now. If he got the work, I'll drop the link and pull him up dead on. If you got the work that says he snitched on this man and got him under criminal investigation. Now, whether it was a civil investigation, that comes along with civil suits. But this civil is because it's related to my money. I'm not just handing niggas over my money. That generational wealth that they're talking about, he was able to accumulate through different ventures and music and publishing, that he owns these records that I've been playing for y'all folks. And he invests that money so that he can make more money, and something goes wrong, that dude that agreed to that is financially liable. This is commerce, baby. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop calling people rats without paperwork. you could get twisted for that. Plus, it's unethical. Yeah, that's a fact, but that's what separates us from them, bro. That rap work get thrown around too much without no work. Yeah, that's crazy. Now, I'm one of them niggas, you don't necessarily need to work. You know what I'm saying? The work to help you find out who somebody is. Just like FG. You can't tell me that's not Mob James, well, Rat James on those pictures. You can't tell me that's not him, especially when he also lined up the homie Shitty Mike from Cross Atlantic Baru, who was my celly at MDCLA. Shout out to the homie Black Ass Boot, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to his nephew, too. Reggie tried a lick and it bit him on the culo, laughing my ass off. Did you get the IGG? Listen, bro, ain't nobody winning that. I'm going to put that as the next question. Who's winning that battle? Because they both telling on each other. And it's not like we didn't know that this nigga Veggie is a piece of shit rat, 137. He gets mad that I call him that. You know what I'm saying? And I call him every time he do rat shit and tell him, this the rat shit. You get mad at me and Scandalous because we call you a 137 rat. But the FBI alluded and explained to you about 137 rats, feeling the need to tell you to shut your mouth. Because he's not saying it. You're saying it yourself, that you cooperated with the federal government. You told these people that. You know what I'm saying? So we list the facts. We know that you were a suspect and an eyewitness in the Tupac murder investigation and the Biggie murder investigation. You were the orca. You know what I'm saying? So everybody already been covered. We've been covering it. You can go check our shit, flaming them up, recording them and flaming them up, recording them and flaming them up, and make it our little YouTube off of him until he feels, okay, leave me alone. Y'all just get me because of Whack. Whack is, I thought Whack was an informant. Remember that? See, y'all ain't been paying attention to what's going on. Hit that like button, share. Yeah, put them on timeout. That'd be worse than blocking. Now you got to sit back and take it. Yeah, Reggie was cold in college. Yeah, I got it, BBL. Wasn't a long career, but it was decent. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? T-Money Live, salute. DAMU KIWE Conversation. Christopher Love, T100's in the chat. Vito Corleone, salute, man. So, yeah, we talking about my nigga Tata, right? And then you see the discography, you know what I'm saying? BreakBread Records, you know what I'm saying? And he owns these masters. I think Reggie owns part of it also. I'm quite sure he duloed Suge on that deal too. He was stealing Suge's money at the time. But as we get into this, we're going to get into this right now. Then we'll get into, we'll get back into Lloyd Tata. I see a lot's going on. Shout out my partner, man. Most Scandalous Los Angeles TV. Hit that like button, man. We got the content. Early in the AM.
And if y'all haven't heard it, you should listen to it. Because it's everything we've been saying about this for about 12 years. And now it's real dangerous for Suge. It's real dangerous for Suge Knight right now.
Agreed.
You know, Reggie Wright Sr. used to run the Twin Towers Correctional Facility for the sheriffs. So he has a lot of ties into the prison complex, the prison industrial complex. And that's Reggie Wright Sr. Reggie Wright Jr. just said, if I let you get out of prison, which was a veiled threat for Suge. It's a veiled threat for Suge, for sure.
Go take your meds so you can come home. You're going to have to die in there. You're going to have to die in there.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Day 3 of the Reggie versus Marion saga, and it's getting nastier by the minute. Simon has completely taken the gloves off after hearing Reggie speak on his mother. That hit a nerve, and since then, he's been on a mission. He's not just throwing shots online anymore. He's going on nationally televised talk shows, calling Reggie out by name and implicating him in the murders of Tupac and Biggie. Just today, he sat down with Piers Morgan for a full hour. Piers kept asking about Diddy, but every time he did, Simon redirected the heat back to Reggie. He also shared a piece of unknown information about his former attorney, David Kenner. It looks like Simon isn't going to let him get off the hook that easy either. Before we get into it, I want to show you exactly what Reggie and John down at BAMU first just did. Right here, you can see they hit me with a strike and got my video taken down. They claimed it was cyberbullying and accused me of violating YouTube's policy on unwanted sexualization. The notice says I posted content that describes someone in a lewd, degrading, and sexually explicit manner, and supports non-consensual sexual imagery. That's a serious accusation, and it's completely false. All I did was react to a video where Simon told Reggie that every girl Reggie had, he had first. I didn't.
So this bitch-ass nigga Reggie that reported my gangster, and he told me he was going to do it. I'm like, bro, how you going to get mad that we cover it? You say niggas don't get enough views and all of this shit, and you went and pulled some whole shit like that because that nigga Scandalous is in them niggas cerebral. Nigga, he's doing burpees and Navy SEALs and these niggas cerebellum, nigga. That nigga Scandalous been dissecting this shit. Reggie, all you did was make it worse on you, nigga. We wasn't even going hard on your bitch ass. You know how much content we got with this nigga? Some shit we can't even bring out, nigga. Nigga, every time we record this nigga, and I don't give information to him, I could tell him about me, you know what I'm saying? My life's an open book. No smut, no cut. But nigga, all we do is press him, disrespect him, clown this nigga for being a piece of shit. And this nigga recorded it. I mean, this nigga reported it. It's nasty work, bro. Let's get back to the video. Shout out my nigga Most Scandalous, Los Angeles, the GOAT.
And say it. Simon said it. I just reacted to a public interview like everybody else. But this is what they do. Reggie once told me I had no subscribers and that I barely pulled 2,000 views. But the second I drop a video that gains traction, he and John start playing computer games. What's crazier than that is the fact that Reggie's YouTube channel is full of the exact kind of content he's trying to strike me for. The hypocrisy is insane.
It was 1996, and incredible to think it's nearly 30 years ago when he was shot and killed. You were alongside him in the car. Many people have speculated since that Diddy ordered that death of Tupac. Is that your belief?
Well, first of all, I got a bullet still today, a 45 bullet an inch to my skull. You can look at my medical records and see the x-rays and see it's in my skull. They didn't remove it because they said if it would have went another inch, either I'd have been investable or dead. Now, as far as what they say Puffy did and didn't do, just the facts. The facts of the matter is this.
That like button.
It was a guy named Reggie Wright Jr. It's a guy named Reggie Wright Jr. It's a guy named Reggie Wright Jr. who was over security. He didn't work directly for Death Row, but he had a security company called Right Way Security, who did security for Death Row with off-duty police officers or guys with a CCW.
Thanks for
everybody knows.
You know, Black.
When we go to a fight in Vegas, we're going to be at the Tyson fight, or we're going to be at my club they call Club 662. You can go to that club and you'll see Mary J. Blige perform, Jodeci perform, Tupac performs, Snoop and the Dogg Pound, Andre. I mean, unbelievable talent in one place. that night was going to be Run DMC East Coast night. Reggie Wright Jr. told the security they can't carry firearms. Told the security they can't carry firearms. The sad thing about that, Pac hated Reggie Wright Jr., so he had fired him before any of that. I don't know the right date, but I'm quite sure it was. It's paperwork that shows it. But the crazy thing about that, it was a bodyguard named Frank Alexander. Pac hated Frank. He was cool at first, but towards the end, he hated Frank because Frank always wanted to get in the pictures with Tupac. And Tupac was very militant, so he was like, man, I don't want a bodyguard taking pictures with me. How is he watching my back if he's getting himself in the pictures? So I hired a guy named Michael Moore and told him to bring another off-duty police officer because they kept their gun and they was real aggressive by protecting Tupac.
YouTube, Twitch, Facebook.
So on the way to the fight, Reggie Wright Jr. tell Michael Moore he can't carry his weapon when he's doing bodyguard work.
UCLA fan.
I've been to Club 662 on many occasions, and never have they told me to leave my weapon. Why would I leave my weapons in a vehicle or in the hotel room, and I'm personally guarding Pac in one of the most hottest places to be? I got into a little argument with Reggie Wright at lunch over it. He said, Mike, I'm putting Frank back on him, and I'm taking you back off. And I said, Reggie, that part doesn't make sense. Why not leave me and Frank on Tupac?
At 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Las Vegas, at the Luxor, security was all brought together by Reggie Wright on the day that Pac was shot, and we were told not to carry weapons because we were all armed.
We were told specifically, do not carry your weapon.
See, y'all see why Veggie Wrong hate Scandalous? Y'all think that he really wants me disrespecting him, calling him pork, but he hated the picture of the Fridge Reggie. He hated that picture in his football thing. I'll give you a picture of me when I played football. All of that shit. You see why he reports Scandalous? Because Scandalous figured it all out, nigga. Nigga, I told that nigga when I called him the GOAT, I named him the GOAT, and Scandalous theme music is Tupac Scandalous. This nigga, y'all think I'm the #1 Pac fan. I give y'all one clue about Scandalous. Scandalous is one of Pac's biggest fans. He riding with Pac till the wheels fall off, nigga. So he done studied this shit, researched this shit, decades, a plethora of knowledge about this shit. He gives me insight all the time. And this is why Reggie and John, and I'm spelling that John like the John that pays the madam, John, right? That's how I'm spelling it, right? John are reporting Scandalous page. They want to fuck up his movie. Real gatekeepers. As soon as they see somebody on the move up, doing real good content, reputable content, you report them because Suge said everything you hit, he done already hit. And Reggie told me that he was talking about his wife. Wasn't even sure he was talking about his wife. And so it's gloves off. It's ugly. They telling on each other. I'm talking about real implications into crime that were under investigation way back then. In the midst of all of that, he don't strike nobody else on YouTube but my guy. Nigga, wear his ass out, Scarlett.
Yeah, did you find that kind of strange? Yeah, everybody got to go to fight at the casino, and everybody thought it was strange. That why were guys told not to carry weapons? Even the cops that were there told not to carry weapons. Everybody was told not to carry weapons.
That's what we were told. Now, I, at the meeting, was asked one of the few questions. Why would you tell us not to carry our weapons? I think the reason they removed me from Tupac is because I was one of the few people that wouldn't buy into not carrying your weapon. And during no part of that day did I take my weapon off. And Mr. Wright knew that. And Mr. Wright knew that. And Mr. Wright knew that. So they removed me off Tupac so there wouldn't be a weapon there. So they removed me off Tupac so there wouldn't be a weapon there. When Reggie did that and I questioned it.
He's tripping that they never asked him before to not bring his weapon. And he's been to Vegas working them before. And this night that Tupac's get shot and Suge get shot, Reggie Wright Jr. told all of them not to bring their guns. He wouldn't listen to them. So he was removed off Pac when he was saying, put me and somebody else on Pac and we have the burners. Reggie made sure that didn't happen. See, Reggie hate when scandals go here. Oh, yeah, he gonna flame your fat, sloppy body ass up, Orca.
Reggie did something that he's never done. He's never stayed at 662. That day, he stayed at the club. Then why would he need me there? And why would I be taken off of Tupac?
Michael Moore said, well, I'm going back to the hotel. If I can't carry my gun, I can't protect myself or Tupac. So I'm not going. So Reggie Wright Jr., who nicknamed that Pac gave him Pork Butt. So Pork Butt goes and says, Frank, you can go, but you can't bring your gun. Now, everyone knows you can't be a bodyguard without a gun. So after the fight, we come from the fight. Tupac got into it with another guy. It was a big fight. After that fight, after we stopped to a few places, we go to my house. I told Frank, I told all the security, I told everyone, Pac just beat up a well-known gang member. Send 4 or 5 guys extra.
I forgot his name, Lou.
To escort Tupac.
I forgot his name.
Reggie Wright Jr. refused to send the security guys, refused to show up. That wasn't a coincidence. It was a murder for hire hit. It was a murder for hire hit. It was a murder for hire hit.
Now look, we not gonna keep saying this nigga's a rat every time for what he said when he just implicated Reggie Wright and all these other names, David Kenner and Snoop Dogg and all of these other people, Jimmy Iovine. He's definitely ratting if he's telling the truth. I believe he's telling the truth. But we ain't gonna keep saying it. Y'all know
it was blocked in. It was more than one shooter. Only person know the truth, the real truth, is me and Tupac. He's not there to tell it. Only person knows is myself. But Reggie Wright Jr. tried to change the whole story of the narrative of what actually happened, and he was not there. During that situation, Snoop, who everyone knew at the time, wanted Tupac dead. Snoop had a meeting with Daz, Corrupt, Nate Dogg, the Dog Pound. Said, we're not going to Vegas. This is their words, not mine. We're not going to Vegas because basically something's going to happen. Somebody's going to get killed, right? So Corrupt tells the story.
Out of curiosity, man, since you was a part of, Dog Pound and you was a part of, Snoop team, how did you find out that Tupac got shot in Vegas?
I was in the Bay with D-Shot, and it came on the news because Dog said, we're not going to Vegas. We're gonna post. So, he called us to the house and was basically like, look, this is what we doing. DPG, we ain't going to Vegas. We gonna post.
Daz tells the story.
Snoop and Suge worked it out at one point.
Yeah, but we didn't. Snoop used to say, man, keep Daz back. Keep Daz back. I'm like, fuck that shit. I could have jumped out on his ass in Vegas, but it was killing me. But
Snoop was like, so Snoop is telling all the Dog Pound niggas not to go with Death Row and Tupac and Suge to Vegas, because something's going to happen. This is what Suge is telling them. Mind you, at that time, the nigga Suge is being managed by who? Suge ex-bitch, right? Sharitha Knight. Well, I don't want to call her a bitch. Suge's ex, Sharitha Knight. Reggie is already plotting and up under Suge for the twist. Up under Pac for the twist, because he's in control of the security. So he's making decisions that go against what a reputable security would do, an utter failure. He should have been sued. But I don't think a knife could save him, Lou for Lou. Remember, the nigga Reggie Wrong has connections inside CDCR. Remember, he posted my picture on Bond First, my CDCR prison ID. So if it's the police, he better have a knife, but I don't think that'll be it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit, Suge said it was more than one shooter. First time I heard that. Did y'all hear that? It was more than one shooter. Now, y'all might not understand the significance of such a statement. Because I can say that. You salute to the homie JR. I could say that, right? But I was in youth authorities when Tupac got killed. Don't have any direct information to it. I'm just investigative researcher, striving to be a journalist. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have that same weight. It doesn't carry that such weight, because I might be called what you call a conspiracy theorist, right? On that matter. But when someone is an eyewitness to a murder, when someone is at the scene of the murder, and that person is telling you that only person who knows what it was in that car, and that was him and Pac, and that there was two shooters, the police can't tell nobody that there was two shooters, because they wasn't there. I can't tell nobody it was two shooters, because they wasn't there. Suge is tying Reggie Wright Jr. to the shooting of Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight. So this is deep, but now the Dog Pound is all getting the orders not to show up to Vegas with Death Row and Suge. Listen to this. Corrupt said,
like, hold on, don't fuck this up.
Warren G tells the story.
So he never went to Vegas? He never went to Vegas. He didn't go off top. So we watched the fight. We doing everything, watching the fight, having a good time. We was hanging out, some females and shit around. They was hanging out, everybody chilling and just having a good time, just. And then he got just like a gang of homies, gang of homegirls. And then it's like, then he had the next tail back there. Remember the motherfucker? Yeah. I don't know what kind of next tail he had, but he had the motherfucker could go that whatever it was hitting him all the way from what was going on from Vegas. So they was like, we could hear the shit, and then he started getting calls and shit, and they was telling him that Tupac got shot and da-da-da-da-da. So Snoop, I kicked everybody out. Get the fuck out of here, everybody. Get out of here. And then he took off. That's when he went to Vegas.
Now, what Dad says, when Snoop said that after, damn, we can't go to Vegas, who's going to get those niggas? They already going to get got, basically. Corrupt tells the story and says, once he tell everybody they can't go to the fight, they can't go to Vegas, turns around, Nate Dogg says, I'm going to go to Vegas. Then because I'm going to Vegas, I don't got to be around basically me and Pac. He said, as long as I ain't around them.
Nate Dogg went, though. He was like, I'm going. And he went out there to go have a good time. He's like, I ain't got to be around all that going on with them. I'm going to go by myself and do my own thing.
I don't have to worry about getting shot or getting a stray bullet. That let you know.
Now, mind you, remember Snoop talked about the story. I'm going to need to find that. Snoop talked about the story of where he had to get on the plane with Tupac and Suge Knight, and he grabbed, I think he said a butter knife or a steak knife or something while he was on the plane, you know what I'm saying, sleeping with one eye closed and all of that, you know what I'm saying? So there was definitely, weren't seeing eye to eye, whether it was the Death Row and Tupac faction or just Tupac, but Tupac MOB. So that's one and the same, kind of like I tell you niggas, I got obligations with Tata. My obligation is with Tata. I made that decision as a teenager. So you make that make sense. Nothing come before it. So fuck Reggie Wright. Him and Reggie business relationship back then. Nigga, this nigga is a businessman. He do all kind of shit. He just knows Reggie from back then. But let's get back to the content.
Premeditated plan. Warren G says when the fight was going on, he was watching at his house. Snoop came over to watch the fight. Snoop had a walkie-talkie. These walkie-talkies, you only got this walkie-talkie that I bought for security and a principal that security doing security with. And they worked on all the West Coast. So if you're an artist and you're going to the mall or you're going somewhere, they have a walkie-talkie, security have a walkie-talkie. If you're not going to an event with any of the security details, you don't have a walkie-talkie. Because I didn't buy that many because I wanted to be exclusive. They had them out who was needed. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, so Snoop comes in, according to Warren G, and he got this big walkie-talkie. They start hearing the gunshots. When we getting shot, Snoop listening to it in real time. Pow, 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 all over the radio. That's when he tell him, hey, I gotta go. They just killed Tupac and shot Suge. How would you know? Nobody said that on the radio, you just heard the shots. Now, Reggie Wright Jr. and Michael Moore in the car. They get on the radio and they say, hey, got him. Another guy gets on the radio. They say they think he's a white guy or a lawyer. And they say, hey, don't talk on the walkie-talkies on the radio. Don't talk on the air.
While I was working at 662, I heard something over the Nextels that we all carried for security. And what I heard was, got him, got him, got him. Then someone else came on the radio and said, hey, don't say nothing over the radio, which was the Nextels we were using radio to radio. And I just clearly heard somebody say, don't say that over the radio. But the person who said it was not Homeboy Security, nor was it one of our security guards. It was, to me, would be like a stranger. Someone, and the person that said that was Caucasian, definitely not African American.
Right? So to move things forward,
y'all see they had that
I don't know if it was
David
6 months or however it was since I've been in this prison right here. Somebody played that for me with Michael Moore said. So when I know that attorney David Kenner always says, you could be on your cell phone and people be talking like, hey, I'm talking on your cell phone. Somebody listening. They recorded and you can't do that. They're listening to you. So I know that's his saying. So jokingly, I told David, I said, hey, was that you on the walkie-talkie? Because that's your line. Don't talk on the phone. Now you're the one saying don't talk on the walkie-talkie. So that being said, David Kenner goes and says, Suge, I never had a walkie-talkie. I would never have a walkie-talkie.
So they're saying that they heard somebody, this is a ex-police officer that died, that was a bodyguard. They're saying that they heard got him over the Nextel walkie-talkies But Suge had his where they would go from California to Las Vegas. Remember, Suge got a big stick, pause. Big stick meaning he has the electricity signal streaming from his building. If y'all remember, you people used to have to pay Suge Knight for the service that he had from the big stick at the Death Row Records thing on Wilshire. Nigga, so that walkie-talkie is, they said, anywhere on the West Coast, and they hear a mountaineer say, don't talk on the walkie-talkies. After here, got him. Let's go. Oh, David Kenner, Jimmy Iovine. This nigga pointing fingers at you devils too.
Okay, would I need one for it? Never.
Nasty out here, nigga.
Wow, he's so bent out of shape, but I was joking about it, right? I said, you never had a walkie-talkie? He said, that's not me talking on a walkie-talkie. I never said he was talking on a walkie-talkie. So that raised red flags, didn't think nothing much about it. So Kenner had sent some of my boxes and files to another attorney. Yeah, another attorney got it, right? At the time, he wanted the boxes back. That didn't make sense. So when we discovered a walkie-talkie in the boxes, you know, nobody puts something in the box that they're going through the exact same way. So the walkie-talkie, my guess, probably was in one box. And when they looked at everything and reading through everything, and they was asking me about this walkie-talkie, they put it in another.
Nah, that wasn't Reggie, bro. He said the got him was the lookout. Stay off the walkie-talkie was Reggie. No, they saying the got him. I mean, stay off the walkie-talkie was a Caucasian. The was that Gaines, whatever that officer name was. He's saying that it was a white man or a white sounding voice that said that. So it's different theories anyway, but let's go.
Another box. Kenner, a guy named Steve that works for Kenner, went and grabbed the boxes from another lawyer he has it. Went and stole the wrong boxes that the walkie-talkie was in, but we still got the walkie-talkie. I said, send me a picture of it. So on my tablet, they can send photos, so they sent me a photo of the walkie-talkie. It blew me away. One part of me, it made my blood boil. Another part of me, I just seen Tupac face flash all in my mind. I see these motherfuckers involved with assassination. So I tell Kenner about it. I said, David Kenner, you said you didn't have a walkie-talkie. Now you had one. Now you had one. Now you had one. So after that, our relationship after 30-some years went cold.
He said that relationship go cold because Kenner said he never had a walkie-talkie or the Nextel chirps, whatever communications, means of communication they're talking about. And now he says David Kenner's associate, someone at the firm, pulls out a box and it has the walkie-talkie and sent Suge this paper, a picture of it. So Suge is saying he have this, what you call it. Brian Dow said, my question for Suge, why now? You always said you were not saying nothing. Well, I mean, it's pretty plain to see. He really thought he was going to get out at the habeas corpus and hearing because they railroad him. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He should not have been pleading guilty to voluntary manslaughter, period. It was involuntary. The fact of the matter that he's pled to voluntary manslaughter, meaning he intended to kill Terry Carter, and his lawyer and judge forced him to plead to that and take 28 years because they didn't want to go to trial, is evidence that they railroaded that man. Because anybody in the streets that know what went on know that that nigga didn't intend to do that to Terry Carter. Now, I don't give a fuck if you shoot me accidentally. You shoot me, I'm shoot you. You kill me, I kill you type mentality in Los Angeles through gang members. I get it. I understand it. Nigga, some accidents can't be forgiven. But what I'm saying is, by the law, they made this man Suge plead to voluntary manslaughter when everybody knows he didn't intend to unalive Terry Carter. I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? And most people close to it tell me the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Kid the Barber say it was David Kenner's voice. Yeah, and that's what he's alluding to. And he says he has evidence, a picture of that Kenner co-worker sent him, where he did actually have the walkie-talkie, right? So Hit Car's Amazon should have a GTA-style mission where you can hunt down the truck instead of waiting for it to show up. Michael Moore Fort. Mike B, salute God, honor to be amongst the chat with the liveliest podcast, the most thorough host, DAMU KIWE Conversations. DAMU KIWE Conversations in Yael voice. That's a fact. Nobody can say it like Yael can say it. Yael must be busy. I seen
he went and told the judges. He started trying to pull off my case. He tried to sabotage my case. He did, and everything I'm telling you about is the proof.
For anyone wondering why David Kenner suddenly withdrew from Simon's case, according to Simon, it's because he confronted Kenner about allegedly possessing one of the Nextel radios that Simon's security team used the night Tupac was murdered. Simon claims that when he confronted David Kenner about having one of the walkie-talkies used by his security team the night of Tupac's murder, Kenner initially denied having any reason to possess one. However, according to Simon, they later discovered that Kenner did, in fact, have a walkie-talkie. Simon believes this confrontation is what led Kenner to attempt to withdraw from the case. He also noted that it was ironic because Michael Moore recalled hearing someone say over the radio, "Don't say anything over the radio," a phrase that Marion says was one of Kenner's favorites.
So ultimately, Suge, look, it's fascinating stuff because I remember this all happening in real time. So it's fascinating just to hear you talk it all through in this way. It's like a sort of murder mystery episode. But ultimately, I've got two questions. Do you believe Diddy had anything to do with it? Because it sounds to me like you're more convinced that Snoop Dogg had more to do with it. Was Diddy involved at all, do you think? And if it wasn't him, then who do you think ultimately ordered that hit?
This is the thing. This is what I do know. I know Keefy D, who I've been knowing since little Pop Warner football. Keefy D says that Puffy and them approached them and gave them money. Keefy D says if he go to prison for, this is his words, Keefy D says if he go to prison for the Tupac murder, Reggie Wright Jr. gonna go to prison for Biggie's murder. So all these things going back and forth. You know, who knows what? Absolutely what? What we do know, money was paid out. What we do know, according to these guys, to the police, not the police are actually doing the investigation, the cricket cops. You got to remember.
Did you ever ask Diddy directly if he'd been involved?
Well, that question would be no. Since all this happened, I never had a situation to have a conversation with Puffy. Majority of the time, Puffy see me, he going out the back door or going down the street somewhere. Only time that I ever had a conversation with Puffy, and it wasn't even a real conversation, I was at the Roosevelt Hotel having dinner. Somebody came over to my table and said, "Prince, I want you to come watch his show right now." I said, "Prince performing?" I said, "Yeah." And Prince a real gangster. Prince, he liked the bullshit. So I go in and they set me at a table with Puffy, Nas, a few other people. Prince playing his guitar, and he walked to the table and looked at me, looked at Puffy, and started laughing. You can tell he planned the whole thing. Next thing I know, I lean over and tell Puffy a few words, and before I can finish my sentence, Puffy gets up, his people gets up, and they cover him with coats and run him out the hotel.
I'm the voice inside your head. Why you're typically athletic. Right now, Brick, you're pathetic.
Oh, making all that noise. My bad on getting up out of there a little late. We're gonna close that off. Boom. So you got this. Let's get to this Snoop Dogg. Oh, this is nasty work. But David Kenner, man. I always found David Kenner really the most interesting in the whole Death Row shit, even more than Suge. And now Suge denies conflict. Snoop Dogg on a close counter with Tupac. Oh, let's get to this. Let's hear it from him. So it was definitely some tensions and division at Death Row.
So I walked to the back of the plane, give me a blanket. Tupac took it as if I wasn't down with him no more, as if I was side busted the next day. Actually, I had to fly back home from New York. I get on the plane. Pac right here.
So he's saying Pac ain't fucking with the nigga Snoop, because once the New York video shoot for the Dog Pound gets shot up, Pac rolled for this nigga. Nigga Pac jumped on a plane, went out there, concerned, rolled for Corrupt, rolled for Daz. Nigga, they doing New York, big city of dream. Biggie gets on the phone. Oh, them LA niggas out here doing this. Them LA niggas out here doing this. Allegedly. After that, they shot up the trailer where they were shooting the video shoot. Pac front and center for that. Next thing you know, the Dog Pound is dropping a song with one of the niggas from Southside Crib, allegedly. And I think it was Dre. And then dropping talk about they ain't got no beef with Diddy and Biggie. This is what I roll for you against these niggas, because these my ops anyway. Nigga, and you go talking about you ain't had no beef with these niggas? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this shit is getting nasty. Nasty work. Listen to what Snoop Dogg say. Let's bring that back.
Tupac took it as if I wasn't down with him no more, as if I was side busted the next day. Actually, I had to fly back home from New York. I get on the plane. Pac right here, a couple other right here. I'm like, what's up, Pac? And they do me like this. So I walk to the back of the plane, give me a blanket, grab me a knife and a fork, and ride like this the whole flight. Hoping one of them come with me so I could stab out everybody on this mother. Tupac took it as if I wasn't down.
So he had a fork. Say he grabbed two forks. He was going to stab Pac and So it had got that tense. It's separation at Death Row. You know what I'm saying? It's separation at Death Row. Bill Gates, LV, salute. Thank you for that cash app. Anything given to the DAMU KIWE Conversations is appreciated. We really appreciate it. Help us keep the lights on. Stand on it media, because this is his last ditch effort to get out of there, because his attorney, who could have gotten him out on them charges, he was plotting to keep him in there the whole time. Stand on the media. You're 100% right, but you're only wrong with one thing. Technically, it's not the last ditch effort to get out. It's different levels of appeal. You could go from, if it's a state case, from the state appellate court for your county or whatever. Then you can appeal that to the panel of your county appellate board and the state appellate board. Then you could take it to the California Supreme Court. They could deny your habeas corpus. You can allege that their denial is in violation of your constitutional rights. And then you can file to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal, which is the first level of the feds. Oh, to the federal district court. Let me be properly correct. Federal district court, and then if they deny that your constitutional rights was violated, then you can appeal that to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal, who doesn't play. They're the most liberal circuit in United States. But other than that, Suge definitely felt it was his last effort to get out of there because his attorney, who could have got him out there, David Canner, offered him charges, was plotting to keep him in the whole time. Nigga. From the joint suspension, probation violation, or parole violation, when him and Tupac is stomping out Baby Lane. The whole plot to take death row and the equity, $500 million in equity of that catalog with some powered people. Money is the root of all evil, man. Let me get to this real quick. So you got Tata. Let's put this out there. He got the relatives popping. He's selling songs. Legitimate businessman, right? He do a little illegal something. He wasn't supposed to lock the kid in yet, athlete, before he got out of college. But he'd seen the opportunity. Reggie Bush and his family seen the opportunity. We'll keep this on the low on a expressed agreement. And they took the money. Let's go to this. Fuck Mac 10 by the relatives. Here we go.
Not a rapper, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Why these niggas
Let's see Big Wild. Sugar Booger, what up, bro?
Just another spread of the hustle. Streets forced me to do this shit, so fuck it. Say that. The preacher's at the altar. Your time is getting small. And what I bring to you is like the weight of the rock of Gibraltar. Mr. Inglewood, blood, you's a goddamn lie. Cause the whole town confirmed you was scared of the guy. BreakBread Mafia, nigga, watch me close. You know what happened to bread when it's heated, it turned to toast. And when the crumbs crumble, you wanna squash it and be humble. Alright, meet me at the serve smoke out at the park of the jungles. Keep the bottoms out your mouth and get turned to a ghost. I tell you, you will fall out and cry with your folks. I got a gangsterism track record to incriminate and put on tracks and putting out records. We the relatives, plus nuts the thief. BreakBread is the Taliban, political voice in the streets. You had CJ, the comrades, and Squeak Rule. Except for K-Mac, your whole roster was harder than you. You niggas is TV, you niggas don't believe in me. And I'm dope like the real song you bought from G. I'm in gangsterism overkill, pistol no holster steel, busting out a G to real, pulling behind the wheel. Nigga, you ain't gangster, you's a tattoo freak. You ain't from Queen Street, nigga, you from Beach Street. This shit is deeper than Romeo's and Troker Sacks. This for the lifers, real bloods that lay a dot on their rack. Who nigga is diamond? Blood, you funny. You went from CEO to an artist deal for cash money. Nigga, you need a pacifier. When it comes to rap, you need a time. Nigga, you just rap behind. My niggas practice rapping fine. We the kings of Inglewood. Nigga, you can't win. The relatives mafia, nigga. Fuck Mac 10.
Who banging? That's what I've been trying to find out for the longest, nigga. Who banging? All this shit is for the birds. Listen here, punk, when I confront you, you started mumbling words. Ain't nobody gonna save you, nigga. I'll die and go to hell before I let you diss me to make your album sell. You done had 3 shots, the recipe flop. Paperboard, banger, ball, flop. You like the lion on the Wizard of Oz. And your wife, she's a man, baby. He balls, and you don't bust scraps. You just bust rats, and you fight pit bulls. You don't push no crack. You's a real sick dude, and you just start wearing red when you left Ice Cube. I thought it was a costume. Be the blood for Halloween. Bumping your gun, so nigga, watch the carbine. You remind me of CB4. Pay your warrants, get you in the module, tie you to the toilet, and when you run out of cheese, you better stay OT, cause we good at niggas that promotes the beat. And you ain't too far, too rich to get touched. Nigga, the head sucks over, nigga, your ass will get rushed. Relatives.
Nigga still bleed, some shit is over your head. Don't let your mouth get your ass misled. Nigga still bleed. When it's war, who rolling with you? This when the soul we following through. Nigga still bleed. What the fuck you mean bang the ball? You know bitch, you never banged at all. Nigga still bleed. Watch watch yourself and get your family took. Cause we can both pull murders, make the motherfucking beat good.
Hey, send it to me. Hold on 1 second on IG. Hit that like button when you come in. Hit that like button when you come in, man. A salute to everybody in the chat. The DAMU KIWE Conversations. Shout out to the Blue Wrench Mob, man. We running this content. But yeah, so you got Lloyd Lake, Tata doing business moves like this, right? Let's get to this real quick. What's your favorite relative song? Like That is got 55%. Maria is 26%. In second place, Fuck Mac 10 is at 19%. Damn, I knew Like That was going to be the favorite relative song. That's a legendary anthem in LA. At the function, nigga, till today, at the barbecue, the picnic, the function, any DAMU function, you're liable to hear Like That, not like this. Give it up, slide like this, be brazy. Oh, we got Goat Talk going on. We got most scandalous Los Angeles TV in the building. My brother from another. And even though he with the hashtag union, fuck the hashtag union. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother. And I told y'all, in this sector, when it comes to Tupac, supporting Tupac, fuck Veggie right ass shit. Listen, he gonna line Veggie up every time. You know what I'm saying? He probably cooking right now. This was lightweight. Trust me. Stay tuned. If you ain't follow, go ahead and follow Most Scandalous Los Angeles TV with the $10 super chat. Keep popping that shit. King 100 fire. Prayers, salute. Hey, man, salute to my brother, man. You already know. Suge always said, catch one, you catch the other. Hey, bro, listen. But y'all still acting like Tata ain't this businessman and niggas is calling him a rap without any paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Like, when has that been booed? Listen to the Keyways and the DAMU. We don't do that. We need receipts. And there is no receipts. I just went over the paperwork, news article, LA Times, where they say Reggie Bush, because Lloyd Lake is asking for his money, Reggie Bush is alleging extortion, triggering a federal investigation. Prince was wicked, just like Dave Chappelle said. Louis was said in trial by Clark lady. My fucking NPC just arrived. Look, Cameron on one. That nigga Cameron be on one. He be trolling. Hey, Miss Lisa, I heard it on a YouTube video too. Hey, ladies, Megan, Selena, beautiful. Look, she just come in and she gets on it. Let me see what song this is. Hold on. We might got one more. I want to show y'all something. Hold on 1 second. Oh, yeah, I ain't got my, oh, there it go right there. Oh, yeah, we going to get to that, Throw It Up, Dub C and CJ Mack. Let me see if we can get that. Another song, Tata was coming with the heat. Shout out BreakBread Mafia, nigga. Y'all niggas act like y'all don't know. Dirty money going up. Mafia, throw it up. You know what I'm saying? So we going to go see if this is on YouTube. Let me see. CJ Mack. Throw it up. West Coast, stand up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all getting this. You know they ain't going to let me monetize it because I did this. We going to go ahead and show y'all how the West Coast is rapping. Lloyd Lake, they dropping music. Chilling, turning up, man. We ain't even tripping off the money. I did this because last night, man, I left it all hanging, man. I passed out, man. I got the went to 8, laid down with the itis. Nigga Maria said she wanted to watch a movie. She turned on the movie. She told me to wake her up in 15 minutes. I'm like, man, I got to do my live. And then I'm the one that passed out. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just wanted to make sure we enjoyed ourselves. Yeah, Crip and Blood spit. I've been following that case every day, better than watching the news. Facts. Runoff Records, Hard White. Tops tapping in from work. Shout out the whole chat. Mods, Big Bro, Duse M, salute Slim Gang TV, man. Appreciate the support. You know what I'm saying? But this shit is really getting grimy. And niggas, Snoop was relying on 2 forks from getting thrown out the private jet in midair. Diabolical. Hey, listen, my nigga. Niggas, he's improvising. That's all he had was 2 forks. He gonna try to poke a nigga in the eye or something. Poke a nigga in the neck. He got to go for the vitals. You can't play, but that's some tense situation. You know what I'm saying? And these niggas is feeling some kind of way. I mean, I'm quite sure people heard rumors of artists drinking piss. And I'm not talking about the Diddy party and Cassie. You know what I'm saying? This was way back then. Artists being slapped in front of their wives. So it was a lot of shit that niggas just wasn't trying to go for. And for Reggie to try to get the royalties for Pac 20 years later is sick. They literally was trying to take death row and royalties. Not just royalties, ownership of the catalog. The nigga Reggie was allowing people to use Pac verses and Pac masters to make songs. Jimmy Iovine, his artist, 50 Cent, Slim Shady, without paying Suge, and Suge owns the masters. This is what David Kenner is allowing, Reggie Wright is allowing, and they getting their little kickbacks and fringe benefits, alleged. These niggas been parasites off of Suge and Death Row the whole time. They were all working around them. Y'all be careful out there. You could be well-intentioned, trying to help people be the best at what they do, live the best life that they can, and you give them positions and allow them to embrace in your journey, putting out that positive energy, and they resent it naturally because their core is so evil and fucked up. How they feel about themselves is so evil and fucked up. The natural hater. The love of money is the root of all evil. Did Snoop say he hoped one of these motherfuckers would jump on him because he would stab them or whatever? That tells you exactly where he was at by that stage. I believe Snoop was always a plant. Damn. Snoop is a snake. Imagine going against the people who work so hard to keep you out of doing the life in the Fed. No, it was life in the state. It was a state case. The unaliving of the young dude from By Yourself Hustler. Sad situation. Condolences to his family. You know what I'm saying? Snake tendencies for sure, man. Lou Child. I just don't understand how Puff was all in the midst, but no Whack encounter. No, Whack knows Puffy. Whack was going to Diddy parties. Miss Lisa, you didn't know that? With Ray J, my producers told me they were managed. They were managed by Whack. Y'all don't even be paying attention, man. When you listen to when I first met Whack, and we were talking, I was like, you know, track D? And he was like, yeah, right there off the prayer. This and this and this and that. That's who first gave me Whack's phone number. You know what I'm saying? But I was in jail and I wasn't finna meet Porky on them terms that he get me mixed up with some of these industry niggas and I gotta do something to him. I wanted to be organic. That's the type of nigga I am. Feel me in my element. Let me breathe on you for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas stomping on shit at that time. But let's get to this real quick, right? So this was LAPD, right? So the whole while, Tata is doing legitimate business with Suge and Death Row, pushing his music, trying to get his sports agency cracking. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, Suge Knight's under investigation, right? This is January 9th, 2012, an article by Chuck Phillips. Oh, it gets good. This is better than, I got to read Suge's paperwork too. I'll just read that pre-recorded and release it. So y'all be tapped in, turn on your notifications so you get the update, because I'm going to premiere that as soon as I have the time to do that. But Chuck Phillips, rap music chief, won't face charges in federal probe. A federal racketeering probe into allegations that Marion Suge Knight and his Los Angeles label Death Row Records committed acts of murder, drug trafficking, money laundering, and gun running has resulted in a pair of misdemeanor tax charges. Hold on. Wait a minute. A nigga in 2002 has a federal RICO racketeering into allegations that Suge and his record label, Death Row Records, committed acts of murder, drug trafficking, money laundering, and gun running. And he got a deal. So did David Cannon for a pair of misdemeanor tax charges. So they never found nothing on Suge, and it was an extensive investigation. Extensive. Multi-agency. Listen, under a proposed plea bargain arrangement filed Tuesday in U.S. District Court in Los Angeles, Death Row will plead guilty to failing to submit an income tax return. The label would pay a $100,000 fine and reimburse the government an unspecified amount of unpaid taxes. So they couldn't even say, they were able to say the fine, but they couldn't say how much he had to pay in unpaid taxes. Knight and his attorney said Tuesday's actions signals the end of an investigation launched in 1995 by the Los Angeles Police Department, FBI, and 3 other federal law enforcement agencies. No charges. So the federal investigation started in 1995, meaning when Tupac was killed and Suge was shot while under FBI investigation. Tupac died in 1996. This is 2002. And with all of these cases that niggas was getting caught, niggas was getting chipped, Buntry, right? All of these Poochie, all of these people surrounding Death Row, and Suge wasn't breaking the law, or there was no evidence that Suge was breaking the law other than failing to file his taxes. Do y'all believe in 1995 that Suge was doing and not involved in no drugs? This is what CS2 Back was alleged to know about moving drugs for Suge Knight. And that was in the other investigation. So why would they come back looking to see and believing that Suge Knight was moving drugs up the coast if this investigation that started in 95 proved that he wasn't doing it? Knight and his attorney said Tuesday's action signals the end of an investigation. No charge has been right. The truth is the truth, Knight said in an interview. I appreciate the fact that after looking into these lies and finding nothing, they had the integrity to say, okay, this guy broke no law, and call it off. Federal authorities have declined to discuss or even confirm the investigation since it began 6 years ago. So the feds are saying, look, we ain't finna talk or even confirm that it was an investigation. right? But he's pleading out to not filing taxes, multiple counts. So there had to be some kind of investigation going on, at least at the IRS level, right? Salute to Money Over Media. On Tuesday, a spokesman for the U.S. Attorney's Office refused to comment on whether Knight or Death Row were ever the target of a criminal probe. But two law enforcement sources who spoke on the condition of anonymity said that the entire investigation is over. The sources added that the probe into the more serious allegations has been inactive for nearly 2 years and is unlikely to be revived unless Knight gets in trouble. On Monday, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Los Angeles issued a one-page letter to Knight's lawyers stating that no charges will be pressed against Knight for tax violations or money laundering, according to sources familiar with the document. The letter did not exonerate Knight on the allegations of murder, racketeering, and other violent offenses. So they're not saying that they weren't still having a federal RICO investigation going or exonerating Suge of not participating in racketeering activity. But pay attention. They're not trying to let him off the hook as if he wasn't doing nothing illegal, right? Knight became famous during the 1990s for running a small cutting-edge record label that introduced the world to West Coast rap, launching the solo careers of such international stars as Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Tupac. Death Row became the first hardcore rap label to consistently dominate the pop charts, selling more than 30 million albums and setting the stage for global rap phenomenon. Gangster rap music is typically laced with obscene language, depicting criminal behavior, drug dealing, prostitution, and the harsh realities of urban life. Knight's father enters a guilty plea. Oh, I remember Suge said that his dad was the only one who had say-so while he was in jail for money purposes. The apparent shuttering of the racketeering probe ends an ugly chapter in the music business. The LAPD suspected Knight of masterminding the 1997 slaying of rapper Notorious Big with the help of corrupt LAPD officers. That'll be Rafael Perez and David Mack, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? According to reports by numerous media outlets, including the LA Times, those reports were based primarily on information provided by law enforcement. So law enforcement is providing the crooked media and sources at Death Row informants who also cooperated with authorities who oversaw the federal probe. So they got snitches. It was said that Death Row had 18 informants. 18 informants. And Suge was an angel. These informants had nothing to snitch on Suge about murders. Well, we got people already pointing fingers that Suge had Tanisha Swan, and this is in the Biggie murder, had Tanisha Swan pay Poochie for knocking down the Notorious B.I.G. That was a couple people pointing the finger and snitching at Suge in the Biggie murder, but that was the second investigation. Might have been the third, but it was a continuous investigation under Death Row while they were doing business. Those reports were based primarily on sources. So they don't find that Suge is dealing any drugs or any guns. Allegedly. This is what Suge is arguing or RICO activity. But the LA Times is saying that the feds is not exonerating Suge of this behavior, which means that they're not going as far as to say they didn't find nothing. So I'm starting to believe they might have found something. And this deal might have been worked outside of his attorney. Court filings show that the government investigation turned up evidence that Death Row failed to pay taxes on $825,716 in income generated between December 1st, 1995 and November 30th, 1996. Knight blamed the former accountant, who firm paid an $8 million out-of-court settlement to Death Row after a lengthy legal battle. So not only was Suge fighting against David Canner and Reggie Wright Jr. and Jimmy Iovine and Harry O and his wife about ownership of Death Row, ownership of the Death Row catalog. While he's in jail, he also have to fight against his former accountant, who firm paid $8 million court settlement to Death Row. I wonder if Suge received that $8 million from that former accountant. Knight's father, Marion Suge Knight Sr., entered a guilty plea Tuesday for the tax offense, according to the court filing. So Suge wasn't lying when saying that his dad had the final say over any purchases. I think he said 5,000 or 10,000. His father was the only one that could make any kind of decision. So Reggie and them didn't really have access to the money during this period like he was claiming he did. So the violation would carry a 5-year probation sentence against Knight Sr., who is an officer of the Death Row Corporation. So he was an officer of Death Row, and he pled to the tax offense, Suge's dad. The plea bargain proposal was crafted by the U.S. Attorney's Office and Knight's attorney, David Z. Chestnut. So Chestnut, who is rumored to not, he sounds like Redman, who is rumored to not defend informants because he was an attorney for the mob, well, so was David Canner. David Canner dreamed as a child, a Jewish child, to be a lawyer for the mob, which eventually he reached, but it was MOB and not the Italian La Costa Nostra. So Suge meets him as a UNLV student. I wonder what he was doing with the good old boys in college, hanging around with these mountaineers. You know, they get real freaky at them parties. But he meets all of these industry people, even bumps in and ran in circles that Diddy ran in. I thought he was bodyguard for Diddy at some point, but he wasn't. He was bodyguard for Bobby Brown, who was linked up with Whitney Houston, who was up under Clyde Davis. See, them circles right there is that old money, that old industry shit. And them old industry dudes is rumored to have done a lot of Diddy-like shit, wild parties, cocaine, and just started wearing red when you left Ice Creaming Cube. I thought it was a costume being a blood for Halloween, bumping your gums so nigga watch the car being right. Scandalous. I got road rage and this old man about to get it. Moni in the middle. Salute, sis. We got scandalous down here, man. Let me see what y'all was talking about while I'm reading this article. What's the name of the Relative song when they did Snoop? I think it's called Should Have Been a Beat Off. No, I know the whole Should Have Been a Beat Off. I'm not going to bust that one. You know what I'm saying? Because it get disrespectful. I could bust it without being disrespectful, but we ain't going to do that right now. I want to finish this article, right? Miss Ray J, Diddy play to her. Yeah, hey, listen, man. You remind me of CB4, pay your warrants, catch you in the module, tie you to the toilet. Hey, Mike B, that nigga put it down. You know what I'm saying? Most scandalous Los Angeles TV. Most scandalous. Whoa, they going hard. Uh-oh, shortstop in the field podcast. Keep the union out your mouth. Final warning, messy M's. Hey, listen, brother. We don't take too kindly to warnings. Bust your motherfucking pistol. Hey, dudes, I'm sorry for forgetting you. No, I understand you take me for granted. You know, that's what the union do too. I meant to put hashtag union. Y'all see what Scandal? So this is what I got to go through on the plantation when we working all day. You know what I'm saying? This is what the union does to me. Put on my beanie, throw up the B, and drag that ass in the lap. B trophy. Oh yeah, y'all know about that. You niggas ain't bulletproof. You better stay out my hood at the gas stations or the phone booth. Yeah, taking me back. But let's get deeper. So, Mr. Knight and I appreciate the professionalism of the government in handling this investigation and are pleased that it has come to this conclusion, Chestnut said. Knight added, I'm not mad at the government. The government has a job to do, and I kind of respect the government when it does its work. In a separate but related deal filed Tuesday, Knight's former attorney David Kenner, remember Suge just implicated him in the murder of Tupac Shakur? Oh, Knight's former attorney David Kenner agreed to plead guilty to misdemeanor tax violation. So he pled to a misdemeanor. Kenner would pay about $20,000 in tax penalties and could receive as much as 1 year in jail when the agreement is reviewed by a U.S. district judge this month. So they got David Kenner getting more time than Suge. A harsher agreement where he could face as much as 1 year jail. So Kenner is crooked. Kenner had to plead to a misdemeanor. Kenner declined to comment. His attorney, Don Ray, and Kenner will pay the fine, but intends to file a request for probation. So Kenner is trying to get probation, facing a little jail time. You know what I'm saying? David for a misdemeanor plea deal. David has so many health problems, including a serious heart condition, that has repeatedly put him in and out of the hospital. Ray said that is one of the main reasons we didn't fight this. The Justice Department launched its racketeering probe to determine whether Knight's thriving rap label was a criminal enterprise with street gang affiliations and mafia ties. So now, this is something that ain't been said. Black to Berry says, Mafia in peace, Big Y. Blood should have went farther in the rap game, man. He always gonna be a legend, though, bro. Rest in peace to the home. You know what I'm saying? AKA Red Rag. You know what I'm saying? Remember, he was Red Rag. You know what I'm saying? The union Deuce, is that what we are going to call the group as a whole? Nah, hell no. We fuck the union. They talking about the DAMU KIWE conversation, the employees on the plantation, the sweatshop where we do our work and research, is formulating a union against Duse M, Booger, Pop LQ, and everybody else involved with the DAMU KIWE, man. We is not the union. Fuck the union. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't enough slaps with Dub C. I blame Cube. He had a dynasty with Mac 10 and Dub C. Man, what you mean they ain't got enough slap? 2 West Side Connection albums. Then they got the song with all of the West Side Connection and Who Banging record label on the Recipe, Mac 10 album. What was that? Mac 10 is the lick, West Side is the click. Can't get enough of this gangster shit. It's the Don, come let them know. Unwettable, big fish, incredible. Who banging on the white collars with a pile of dollars, still rolling in Palas. I'm bombing on common sense. Chicago was mine. Nigga hit the fence, intense. Ping, ping, nigga, worldwide. Nigga, this shit was hard. With all of the Who Banging and West Side Connection artists. Binky Mac, all from the eye. Nigga, Comrades. Nigga, what? CJ Mac, Mac 10, Ice Cube. Nigga, that shit with Boo Capone. Nigga, they was on. They knew that Tupac music was going to flourish in the 2000s. They changed the music into streaming through MP3 and other networking services. The CD era was coming to an end, and they knew Tupac was a superstar. Yeah, they worked this. Ghost was to devalue the catalog, which if it stayed digital sales and not streaming, where they pay you percentages of a penny for a stream to access your music, the value would have been a whole lot more, because basically the demand necessitated it. You can't access this without it. But Space goes first, but Dub C always had a fly walk. Snoop too, trying to make Death Row an NFT. He didn't try, they did. Him and Harry O made it an NFT. I think they did what, 50-something million the first week. Yeah, that part Suge can sing like a canary. They ain't gonna let him out. I don't know, Bird. I don't know. Suge got all the secrets. Reggie Wright got all the secrets. Keith McCulley, salute. We was looking dumb, Deuce. He burnt fire every bridge he had. He burnt every bridge he had. Mo Hill, Space Ghost, or even search Ghost Seawalk. It should pull up. Yep, Reggie know what's coming. Yeah, Reggie might be going to jail. You got Keefe D and them pointing the finger at Reggie. You got Suge, who was there, now pointing the finger at Reggie. I'm quite sure if the Suge Knight being a victim, he was shot when Tupac was unalive, being an eyewitness to who shot and the facts concerning, which he never had brought forth until they just denied his habeas corpus petition, right? He thought he was getting out so much. And now I'm on live on the biggest platforms in the United States, news platforms. And I'm pointing the finger at Veggie Wright. I'm pointing the finger at David Kenner. I'm pointing the finger at Jimmy Iovine. And I'm pointing the finger at Snoop Dogg. I want all of y'all to see Nino Brim on the stand saying this is bigger than Suge Knight. And then Reggie's over here telling on him. It's a big implication thing. But in the middle of this investigation, Tata is doing business. Reggie Wright, the pork butt, told me and Scandalous, and we don't know if he lied. He has no credibility. But he says that he went to the feds because they wanted to know how Tata was paid. This is a fact. They're investigating Tata. But we just showed you the records that on Two Gangster For Radio with CJ Mack, the relatives on there dissing people with their song on Two Gangster For Radio, and the several things that he was paid for in the check. I think it was like a $30,000 check for 2 songs or something like that, right? I'm gonna play another song in a minute, but during this time, Reggie goes talk to the Fed. He said that he went and told them it was all legit business, that Tata got a $30,000 check, etc., from Death Row Records. Lost all respect for Snoop. Yeah, bro. Ricky, salute, dudes. Y'all hit that like button, man. Yeah, DAMU KIWE Conversation Fair. And turn on y'all notifications. Sometime I go live. I don't have the time to share it to everybody, and y'all miss lives. So turn on your notifications if you support the DAMU KIWE Conversation, because this weekend we're going to be running through content. We finna run this shit up. Kid, we was looking like staring at the white wall. So let's get back to this, because it gets more. So now, the government kept keeping tabs on Knight in the early 90s, shortly after he and Compton rap producer Dr. Dre launched the first Black-owned and operated gangster rap label. Defying music industry convention, Knight strategically marketed music with violent lyrics and hired unemployed ex-convicts, as well as members of the Crips and Ma Paru Blood Gang, to help build his gangster rap empire. The burly 6'3" entrepreneur sports a diamond-studded ring that spells out the word mob. He named his short-lived Las Vegas nightclub 662, the numbers corresponding on a telephone keypad to the word MOB, mob. Although authorities began targeting a handful of death row employees for their alleged participation in assaults and other criminal activities, no arrests have been made. Can you believe that nobody got arrested through all of that investigation? Niggas wasn't carrying blowers. You know what I'm saying? Niggas wasn't selling dope. Is that what y'all want us to believe? This is nasty work, bro. 18 informants. What are the informants informing on if nobody was arrested? As part of the probe, prosecutors tried to establish whether Knight's label was underwritten with drug money from convicted Compton crack dealers, Michael Harry O. Harris and Patrick Johnson. Damn, they was investigating Pat. And Harry O, I never knew that the investigation extended to Pat. No money laundering charges were filed. So Harry O was pushing that death row. So now here it goes, some more snitch allegation. Is that snitching? If he's alleging that death row, not that death row received money from him, but that death row received drug money from him because he was a drug kingpin. Is Harry O? Let's change first. Let's go to this. What you call it? So, favorite songs by the relatives, Like That, 58%. Maria, 23%. Fuck Mac 10, 18%. We're gonna change that, right? Now we're going to go to another question, right? And that was 115 votes. Thanks to everybody who's interactive and active in the chat. Active like these chucks. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to start a new poll. Is Harry O claiming to see Death Row Records? We're going to put DRR. Is Harry O claiming to see Death Row Records with drug money snitching to the feds? I want to know what y'all think. I know what I look at. I put a $sign. Well, drug money ratting. I want y'all to be active on this poll. Yes, no, and that's it. We just gonna put yes or no. Let me see. We're gonna close that. Close that. You started the poll. Stay active in the chat. Vote on the poll. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if that's ratting. Y'all smash the like button. Explains 3-finger dub. C ripped that joint. He ripped that John. Why you think Wack walks like that? Damn. So CS2 back learned from Diddy to talk to niggas naked on the phone. Nasty work. A little better since I talked to someone. Okay, Steffi. I remember him. Kids slew-footed. Okay, so let's get back to this. We're going to end this, what you call it. Discard the video. I ended Instagram. So if anybody is watching it on Insta, I just ended that. So Pat was under investigation. Harry O was under investigation. And was Michael Harry O. Harris snitching by claiming that he seeded Death Row Records with drug money. By 1995, sales of Death Row Records CDs had skyrocketed, with the music transcending color lines, turning rebellious black outcasts such as Snoop Dogg, Dre, and Shakur into suburban pop idols. The musicians became as famous for their violent lyrics as their run-ins with the law. Knight had 8 criminal cases on his rap sheet before he wound up in prison. He was incarcerated in October 96 when a judge determined that he had violated his probation on a previous assault conviction by kicking a man during a scuffle at Las Vegas hotel. The scuffle took place hours before Shakur was killed, In September 1996, during a drive-by shooting, Knight was driver of the car in which Shakur was shot. After Notorious B.I.G. was gunned down in March 1997, agents from the FBI, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearm, that's the ATF, the DEA, and the LAPD began investigating Suge Knight's possible role in the slaying and other violent acts. So they're saying that he might have a role in the unaliving and other violent acts. So Suge wasn't active and didn't beat nobody, do none of these violent acts that were being investigated. Law enforcement authorities investigated whether Knight staged Shakur's slaying. They investigated whether Suge Knight had Pac knocked down, whether he staged it, and whether he hired a hitman to kill the Notorious B.I.G., whose real name was Christopher Wallace. 3 years ago, police raided Knight's office in San Fernando Valley home and confiscated a Chevrolet Impala that authorities believe was used in the Wallace killing. Police returned the vehicle and other personal and business items without pressing charges. So they returned the vehicle and his personal and business items and have not pressed charges in the unaliving of the Notorious B.I.G. The killings of Shakur and Wallace remain unsolved. Recently, Rolling Stone and cable music TV network VH1 produced reports that suggested Knight was linked to the slayings. So VH1 and Rolling Stones, powerful media outlets, are leaking information suggesting Suge Knight was linked to the Biggie and Tupac murder investigation. Let me ask y'all this. Yeah, that's a better poll. In the chat, I'm gonna go all the way down. I'm sorry. Salute to Patience on Twitch. Thanks for following. Hope you subscribe to the page. You know what I'm saying? CO, yeah. Let me see. The Rock Nation lawsuit, the CEO, she was a drug trafficker and informant. Why would Jay-Z have an ex-informant run his company? Because this is what's going on. These niggas that we believe is the ones, they have powerful information. They were allowed to deal with those that run the industry, just like slave masters used to have they house nigga that dance and put on a show. Kings used to have jokers, jesters that put on a show. It's no different. And they would claim with their shrinkless on and shiny clothes to be the star and put on a show for massa. And they would have access to the slave owners in ways that those on the plantation not necessarily had. Diddy was no different. Andre Harrell was no different. But because they were able to keep these secrets, because they didn't just expose all of the underlying things that power has bestowed upon them, the power that Jimmy Iovine had bestowed upon them, the power that Clyde Davis invested into R. Kelly, Whitney Houston, and all of these other people. See, those are the gatekeepers. You think Suge was privy to this and they didn't have smut on him? Who else would want to frame Suge Knight and get him investigated and leak it to the biggest platform, VH1, Rolling Stones magazine? I'm sure Jimmy Iovine could get an article and such a narrative posted while they're yelling East Coast, West Coast beef through the Vibe magazine. I'm sure the crooked media has relationships with the FBI still at the time. Shit, the crooked media had ties to the media, to the federal investigation during the counterintelligence program. They had it through the black desk. So why wouldn't the feds still have those type of relationships with the crooked media to drop whatever narratives and they want to push? They definitely wanted to point fingers at Suge Knight in both of these murder investigations, but they all benefited, pushing, selling thousands of magazines, East Coast, West Coast narrative. So damn near everybody worked for Death Row was a rat. They said 18 people, 18 informants. As soon as the prisons became an industrial complex, Play implemented the record labels and infiltrated with police officers. Kid the barber, you over here cooking these porks, bro. You cooking the rats. You guys push this gangster rap persona, kids influencing these kids to want to follow behind these trends. While we benefit off record sales, we benefit off of magazine sales, and while everybody's investigating and looking at these guys at the record labels, the prison industrial complex, we got lobbyists funding the narrative. War on gangs, war on drugs is already funded. We're going to point the finger at them all along, the CIA, which was also a part of this investigation. Imagine that. The DEA, they're making big money. The ATF, they're getting mass funding out of these budgets. And while they influencing these kids to gangbang, to shoot each other up, fight amongst each other, the prison industrial complex has no need for any more inmates. They're packed. Prisons are overcrowded. You know what I'm saying? Let me go there. But who else would want to paint the picture of Suge Knight and knocking down Biggie and knocking down Tupac? Let's see what they said. They stole everything from Suge and took him down. Now he is returning the favor like, fuck it. Yeah, bro. I mean, it's still telling, but that's essentially what we're watching. And while he's telling on Reggie and these niggas now, which he hadn't done this whole time, Reggie pointing the finger at him about other murders, about other crimes. Nigga, this gloves off. Nigga, y'all think we ain't finna cover this? CPO boss hog off, picture me rolling, stay across the street from me, 2 houses down from Easy. Dope house on me. Hey, Kid the Barber, man, CPO and Boss Hog had that hit on Murder Was the Case soundtrack. That's the day we buried my dog down. This is how it's done. Like 1, 2, 3. West, Lou from the loop. Salute, bless King. I thought he funded Death Row. Right. This administration is putting full forces in taking down any black folks they can, any level. No, facts. So whacking Reggie next to come down the federal pipeline. Man, maybe. I don't know what these niggas was doing. And then statutes of limitations on some crimes. But they both talk to the feds. We know that. Have a great day, everyone. All right, Cameron, great day. Let me finish this, man, because I want to get into this music. But before we get into the music, y'all need to know what was going on at this time. You know what I'm saying? So the killings of Shakur and Wallace remain unsolved. So fuck with Detective Greg Kading is talking about. Both of those murders are unsolved. You have your theory, and your job was to clear up the LAPD's involvement. So that's why they restarted the task force, the Joint Task Force that you led. This is why they put you with Darren Dupree. That's why you were put with the sheriff department. And you get sheriff department that were working with Russell Poole to try to lend legitimacy to the new task force. But ultimately, it was your operation, and you shut down their investigation into Shaquille O'Neal and the Deja 34 investigation. And they thought that was a big investigation. Why do you think Detective Michael Coet doesn't like Greg Kading? Why do you think Detective Michael Coet made it obvious on bond first that they were against Greg Kading? There was infighting amongst the task force. This is documented through the newspapers. But you ultimately, who were given permission, this elite task force, after the Christopher Wallace estate refiled the hung jury, because it was a hung jury ruling, refiled the $400 million civil suit against the city of Los Angeles and LAPD. So y'all would have been going broke. And you get this investigation, you prioritize this investigation and made sure that Suge Knight made sure that Shaquille O'Neal, Money Mark Stevens, and the Main Street Crips investigation was concluded based on Stutterbox being a snitch. Stutterbox, who also, but y'all said he lied, who also gave y'all, was an informant for you guys, gave y'all CS2 back, which was accurate details. They found guns. He said that it was like Fort Knox up in there. You guys found guns, plural, right? You guys, he said he was trafficking drugs. We can't prove that y'all found evidence that he was trafficking drugs, but he did admit that he was caught on a wiretap, and it was supposed to be him having a conversation about drugs. Wiretap, this is what they said. We're going to get into that also and flame his ass up today too. But look, the LAPD Russell Poole, who worked, let's finish this. Those reports were based on information provided by former LAPD Detective Russell Poole, who worked on the murder investigations of Shakur and Notorious B.I.G. and recently filed a lawsuit against the police department. So Russell Poole was suing the LAPD for the cover-up and for what they did. Russell Poole ended up dead. They claim a heart attack. Conspiracy theorists and some people like me believe that while he met with the sheriffs to talk about what his investigation, they hit him with a heart attack stick. You know what I'm saying? But Detective Russell Poole did want to apologize to Suge Knight because he thought it was just Death Row Records. He didn't understand the infighting. He didn't understand until he found evidence of a plot to take Death Row Records from Suge Knight. Detective Russell Poole was the closest to me, in my belief. I mean, I don't believe it's enough to convict anybody of this shit. It's too many other theories that have strong support. But Detective Russell Poole apologizes to Suge Knight. Now remember, Detective Russell Poole was a 137 confidential source for Phil Carson. Y'all forgetting that? The Fed's hands is written all over this, all over the investigation in Tupac, the son of a Black Panther Party member. The politics always being watched by the FBI, and they acting like they don't know what happened or weren't there when Tupac got knocked down. This is nasty work, bro. So it says, let's go to this real quick. Let's see if we can get to yeah, we got it. Murder Music Group. Murder Mastic Music Show. So let me get up off of here real quick and let y'all know Detective Russell Poole, who was the closest, who was the first detective on the investigation and wrote a book about it, The Labyrinth. I read the book, so I know a little bit about it from what I read. Scandalous, I don't think Scandalous read the book, but Scandalous know all about this shit. Let's play this real quick. It's only a couple minutes.
Things going on, and Suge, he took a bullet in the head. A lot of people would say, because I mean, there was a theory going around that he had Tupac killed so he wouldn't leave death row. But a lot of people would say, how are you going to get that bullet in your head?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I think that's really preposterous. Russell's original theory was that Suge was behind this, because what Russell couldn't separate in his mind was that Death Row Records and Suge Knight were separate entities. All of the evidence points towards Death Row Records. None of the evidence points towards Suge. But because Suge was the sole shareholder in Death Row, when you said Death Row, you were talking about Suge Knight. And so for that reason, Russell had thought, that all of this evidence pointed to an inside job with Death Row Records, and he blamed Suge for it. And he was very vocal about it. Good question. And he was...
Hey, he said, I wonder if Suge went to the 64th floor and had some favors with the feds. Hey, I'm wondering the same thing, bro. What they having a war now, all of it's finna come out. Niggas got paperwork. We finna find out what was really going on. That is the best part about this week of, we might finally get closure to what happened to Tupac Shakur among all of this snitching. And the Notorious B.I.G. We might. They say if you solve one, Suge said it himself, you solve one, you solve them both. So let's go. Listen what Russell Poole said.
Going to the sheriffs to apologize to Suge Knight and tell the investigators that they have this case against Suge that's crumbling, and to abandon that case and get on board with solving the two biggest mysteries in rock and roll history, or in music history.
So Russell Poole was going to apologize to Suge Knight.
100%.
Fact.
Wow. So he really felt bad about originally accusing Suge then.
He felt very bad. As he and I were working on Chaos Merchants, we handed a copy of Tupac 187 to the DA's office, and they just weren't feeling it. Our contact at the DA's office just wasn't feeling it. He goes, I get it, but, and so we redoubled our efforts to try and drill down deeper. And Russell insisted that every single fact be footnoted. So if you read Chaos Merchants, every single fact has a footnote as to where it comes from. And so you can see everything lines up perfect with this. And it's not just conjecture. It is actually supported by documents. It's supported by witness testimony. It's supported by, interviews that people have done since then to give us little clues. And when Russell saw all of this laid out, he felt horrible about things he'd said about Suge. And he realized that Suge was a victim that night. Suge was not the perpetrator of the crime.
So there you have it. Russell Poole wanted to apologize to Suge Knight before he died, says the author, because he realized while he was pointing the finger at Death Row, that necessarily implied that Suge was a part of the Tupac murder investigation and the Biggie murder investigation. But they never really had that connection. They find out that there was a plot to take over Death Row. A plot to keep Suge in jail. It's one of the reasons why David Canner was trying to withdraw as Suge's counsel. Y'all just seen that. That was what, March or April? You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to this, right? Because this LAPD article LA Times article is deep, nigga. And it takes you back into the time period. Remember, Lloyd Lake is doing legitimate business. It was later found, except financing a collegiate student, right? Which was against NCAA policy, you know what I'm saying? But as a sports agency, he knew he might not know it was that serious, because this was allegedly happening all the time. Even in the NBA, Shaquille O'Neal said LSU was paying him, bro. He's on records admitting that. This is what's going on. But when a black man do it, it was a problem, right? So I believe that Suge Knight was involved in the murders of Biggie and Tupac, Poole said. In my opinion, neither Knight nor Chief Parks have been held accountable for what they've done. In a recent interview, LAPD Chief Bernard Parks dismissed Poole's theories as wild and inaccurate fabrications. But Chief Bernard Parks made it clear that David Mack and at a press conference that David Mack and Rafael Perez worked for Death Row Records. He said initially worked for music industry record labels. Then they said Death Row Records. He said yes, they work for Death Row Records. I'm gonna see if I could pull that up. So now you're going into the investigation into the Rampart scandal, the biggest scandal in LAPD history. There's a lot of powers that be that would kill Jesus Christ to hide the extensiveness of such corruption as the LAPD during the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. There are powers that be that will kill a saint to hide the corruption behind the lawyers who were in on this and a part of this. The music executives who were in on this and a part of this. This is millions and millions of dollars. This is corruption at its highest level, exposing the pecking order in the music industry, the ties to corruption and lobbyists, politicians. Remember Reggie Wright Jr. wore a wire on Omar Bradley? Remember he tried to set him up? This is what we talking about, bro. I'm 3 hours in. Hit that like button, man. Swear this channel is shadow banned. There's no way we shouldn't have a wider reach. Of course, we shadow banned and they reporting scandalous too. But I didn't really share the live and all that. See, one thing that y'all see, I'm playing music and stuff also. I'm not here just for money, and that's why I appreciate the cash apps. I'm not here just for money and numbers. I'm here to bring the truth. And there's powers in the music industry. Don't Laura Cohen run the YouTube section now? There's powers in the industry who's going to make sure that they're power band. Do you know that if you try through AI to have AI formulate the thumbnails like I've done with CS2 Back, that I've done with Veggie Wrong, that they won't even allow me to utilize Jimmy Iovine's image to create thumbnails with those words where it accuses him. This is how powerful Jimmy Iovine is. It's within the algorithm that the AI is not to allow the use of his image with these allegations. But it was cool to have those allegations against Suge Knight. Deuce, I hope you're doing Deuce lives today. Yeah, I'm doing 2 live. You know what I'm saying? That make up for it. I work twice as hard, and the super chats that y'all give, man, those is helping. I was working in. He gave us tickets to the Soul Train Music Awards. Heart Gun. Yeah, the Heart Gun. Mo Hill know. You know what I'm saying? She believed like I believe. So let's go back to this. Knight insisted that he had nothing to do with the shootings and that pool theories are false. Underneath it all, you're going to find what you're going to find here is this. It's just about some former cop wanting to grab a bunch of money and a few moments of fame, Knight said. Knight, who was released from prison in September after serving 5 years, said he believes the media reports were racially motivated. Do you think they could get away with publishing this kind of crap about a white Hollywood executive? No way, it's racist, Knight said. Representative for Rolling Stones and VH1 say they stand by their reports. How you gonna stand by your reports about Suge? And now you got the head detective of that initial, wanting to apologize to Suge before he was unalive. So is Harry O claiming to see Death Row Records with drug money ratting? 81% said that Harry O is a rat. Now 79%. 21 said no, that's not snitching. That's why I put that, because I'm quite sure there's an element that might feel that that's not snitching, because there's the argument that that was business. You know what I'm saying? Exactly how they saying this about Tata. But I'm sure Tata don't give a fuck about whether you calling him a rat or not anyway, or if how a nigga feel, because I'm going to get my money. If I haven't put nobody in jail, I'm not implicating nobody in no crimes where they're going to do jail time, and the nigga that took my money, I'm going to sue. So call me a rat or whatever the fuck you want to call me. But I'm telling y'all, by the politics, there ain't no paperwork on Tata implicating anybody in any crimes. So let's go to my Facebook real quick. We got some shit I want to show. So Tata, businessman, remember? He gonna go get that money. So today he got another company. Let me show y'all a couple of his commercials, and we'll get it. Money. Look at the beautiful Lisa Wright. It's gonna start over. Let me.
Zen is better than anything you'll find on the shelves anywhere else. So why don't you run to the store and find your Zen?
We're gonna take this off so y'all can see it.
Zen is better than anything you'll find on the shelves anywhere else. So
Still
why don't
looking
you run
for
to
it.
the store and find your Zen?
Zen Bomb. That's Tata's product. It's
Zen is
available
better than anything you'll find on the shelves anywhere else.
online.
So why don't you run to the store and
This
find
is one
your
of the
Zen?
commercials. Zen Bomb, all natural pain relief. That's one video. Let's go to another one. This one is on Fox Sports. Let's go.
Here, what was this? What we do with this?
You got Shannon Sharp. This is on Undisputed, man.
Need some of that stuff right
do.
now.
Shout out.
Because this man caused me a lot of aches and pains.
This morning's been a tough one.
What we got here? What was this? What we do with this?
Ointment. I'm partnered with one of my biggest investments outside of football. It's an all natural product, no chemicals in it. Something you can get rub on for yourself for your arthritis and stuff like that. No,
You definitely need this.
Your back pains and stuff like that. I already know. So
I put this on my knee. I'll probably take Skip in a mile.
in a
You
mile.
stock that in every
What you get,
dressing
8
room in
minutes?
Fox.
8 minutes. You get 8 minutes. Skip.
I get 8. Are you seriously?
8 minutes.
in these shoes right now, I could need some of that stuff. Right now.
So
Because this
this
causing me a lot of aches.
this is Tata's company with Keenan Allen. Shout out Keenan
What we got
Allen.
here? What was this? What we do with this?
He into the health, he's still sports and health, fitness. You know what I'm saying? Mo Hill said that's why they off them. So this is what Tata. This is the type of nigga that we got to plug with the investors, with the Native Americans who got the casinos, got music being distributed through Death Row Records back when it was popping still, but they were on a decline. You see Reggie Wright Jr., the two Gangster For Radio, despite the hits that we played and the money that was exchanged, you're trying to do a replica with Top Dog and Snoop Dogg. The real is a replica, a knockoff version of Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Respect to those brothers for getting their money, how they getting it. But what I'm going to say, Steve Jobs, who I look at as one of the greatest business minds that have walked the planet, would not accept mediocrity. But you would. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that the Relatives was mediocre. You know what I'm saying? The Relatives had top of the line gangster rap music. That's why Death Row wanted to buy them for that. But at that time, Death Row musically was Suge's in jail was accepting a different standard. So Reggie, pork butt, while you try to brag about that era, the sales of doing hundreds of thousands the first week was not even there no more, bro. What you claimed as fame was the decline of Death Row Records as we knew it. You had the Chronic. Every record that they was putting out, you know, you could play from the beginning to the end. I'm talking about Grand Poupard, you know what I'm saying? Filet mignon, nigga. This is the cream of the creme de la creme of music, nigga. You got Dr. Dre like a human orchestra. You got that nigga Daz on the beats. You know what I'm saying? So, Gangsters Worldwide, yeah, we'll get to that. We're going to play that next. But let me get to this real quick. We want to go into BreakBread Records, and we're going to go to the discography of this real quick. So the investigation's going down. Tata's caught up in the middle. His name getting implicated in extortion and all kind of shit. And Suge name is up on here, but Tata got paperwork, and in the extortion, all of the newspapers saying Suge name, they don't got Suge in the paperwork at all, which is strange. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely strange. We gonna go over that paperwork one day also. So BreakBread, gangster hip hop label in California, founded by Tata, right? So you got the discography, the Relatives Takeover EP, Mr. Little One, BreakBread, Nuts. You got all of these different albums. The Relatives Like That, Fuck Mac 10, right? 2002. When this investigation shit is going on, Tata is in the mix, right? Let's see what they got. 17 copies. What they got? So you got the Takeover. Dealers, all of this music is available. You know what I'm saying? Still till today online. You know, this is what he got going on. But now he caught up in Suge investigation, Death Row investigation, and he caught up in this Reggie Bush investigation because Reggie Bush is telling the federal authorities he's being extorted. This is nasty work, bro. Nasty, nasty work. I guess Yael is busy. Oh, trust me, he would have been here. You know what I'm saying? Suge Knight, bro, Bunchy wasn't killed. Oh, we had Discretion TV making some shit. Let's get into this music, and then I'll get into Discretion TV, and then we'll end this first live. This is Mac 10 featuring gangsters worldwide.
Gangster from the comrades. My new homeboy Nut. Hey Nut, lace him up, homie.
Now sit back and get laced, you might bubble.
Let me put this down. I told y'all we was chilling.
Yeah.
I gotta take a quick break, get something to drink. You know what I'm saying? And me told Jay-Z to try to sign dog down. Told him don't do it, he gonna run a cell phone. It's a chess piece. It's a chess piece move on the game.
Homeboy Nut. Hey Nut, lace him up, homie.
Now sit back and get laced, you might bubble. Ride with me and lock game under your belt buckle. Certified YG and got stripes to show. I'm a solo, void haters and popos. I'm from the streets of Southeast, thought I'm on you. If need be, hit the cone and draw down on you. A straight rider, soldiers, I thought I told you. Eating weed as a youngster, now I'm never sober. Give me a quarter, I'll show you how to flip him over. And to escape, I hit the back gates and shake the rollers. I got game in each and every way you want it. All for the real, trying to get a meal and I'm all up on it. I keep it real and stay G is the only way. Everyday payday don't work, homie, don't eat the day. Pressure bust a pipe, nigga, the P is on ya. Mom tried to run you, daddy tried to let you about California.
Worldwide, we make ends. Breaking bread with players from the streets to the pen. Gotta thank God for the day begins. In this life of crime, cause we spot the sin. We worldwide, we make ends. Breaking bread with players from the streets to the pen. Gotta thank God for the day begins. In this life of crime, cause we spot the sin.
Thought that I was wash away, Josh away. They tried to do me like they put my nigga Park away. I bounced back with the biscuits, golf hats, 50 things, flexed out the game, fly cat, motherfucker, can you buy that? And what I can't afford, I steal. Won't stop till a nigga check a meal. We in the house on the hill, getting freaking man. 6-figure hoes, taking clothes off freaking man. With my crew tight like Ray shoes. Bet not step on my blue suede shoes. They Pumas with color strings from that west side colored gang. And we done touched every aspect of the game. Now I'm riding in Dago. Networking with my player partners about some yayo. East to west coast, niggas on a mission. Die hard niggas in the kitchen boiling chicken.
We worldwide, we make ends. Breaking bread with players from the streets to the pen. Gotta thank God for the day begins. In this life of crime, cause we spot the sin. We worldwide, we make ends. Breaking bread with players from the streets to the pen. Gotta thank God for the day begins. In this life of crime, cause we spot the sin. Triple beams bought me a Beamer, enabled me to take vacations in Argentina. Now I rock arenas when I used to rock O's. Fuck the Fed codes, a nigga selling out shows and paying taxes on my dollar now. Houses in my mama's name is my mama's now. Surround myself by cousins, bulletproof windshields and V dozens, break bread.
Be the man of the hour, too much game to be devoured. Perm silked and rap head to toe and Eddie Bauer. I love to choke the smoke, so I only toke the power. It's got to be since YG done walked away from the Agua. Trying to have more mail from juvenile to county jails, penitentiary cell to worldwide clientele. For sure to get this mail with these gangster rap sales. False the legs on the popos with no L.
No L. We worldwide, we make ends. Breaking bread with players from the streets to the pen. Gotta thank God for the day begins. In this life of crime, cause we spot the sin. We worldwide, we make ends. Breaking bread with players from the streets to the pen. Gotta thank God for the day begins. In this life of crime, cause we spot the sin. I told you, everything we make is Peruvian.
Yeah, man. Shout out to that's the Mac 10 featuring Gangster from the comrades worldwide. You know what I'm saying? Tata had that come on. So Tata's making music, man. Tata's got the Indian plug, allegedly. We cannot confirm or deny that's the truth. He's alleged to have had these Indian Connect investors that owns the casinos. He's moving in circles with Suge Knight at his peak, right? Suge is in jail. You know what I'm saying? He's in the circles around big money, hustling, a player, doing his own thing, right? But now he's under federal investigation that we learned. Regge Bush pointed the finger at him. The Rampart scandal, right? They had to get rid of Russell Poole, and now the internet detectives got their ass in a pickle. No Diddy. Better than a pickle in the ass, right? We not buying views over here. This from the dirt. Yeah, man. Suge said, fuck it. Reggie want to play dirty. He about to get muddy. Bro, that's what's going on. They hate Suge had gang members and dealers around going legit. He wasn't dirty, though, and the employees had nothing to do with Suge. I'm not sure he wasn't dirty. They didn't prove no shit that he was dirty. We could say that. But that don't mean that he didn't. Niggas get away with a lot of shit that they can't prove. I was in the military, and I know for a fact the government had a hard gun and way more shit than that, like antimatter weapons. Damn. Lou, I seen that documentary. He made everything make sense. Yeah, we're going to get into it. Let me get to, let me see. Let me get to, I think we had Discretion TV. Let me see where that's at. Let's get on Discretion TV. I think he spoke on Tata. Let me see. Maybe it was a different video. He spoke on Tata. Which one was this one? Let's go to video. Suge Knight, bro. Reggie Wright didn't tell you what Tata did to Reggie Bush. Here it go right here. See, this is the type of anti-journalism we don't support. Where's the receipts? This is the prime example. And the crazy shit is I've subscribed to this dude and reacted to his shit, shout him out, all of that. There ain't no beef. We could disagree to disagree. But when you think that you could talk about one of my homeboys that I walked the federal prison yard with, who's in good standing with my homeboys and the dudes out of San Diego, and you say that he snitched on Reggie Bush, they always called you a stan, bro, a fan. You done took your fanatic shit to another level of disrespect. So you want to call him a rat? Why don't you bring the paperwork about him snitching on Reggie Bush? Because we just went over all public records, and from all the costs, he pressed for his money, and this nigga put the feds on him. And you're calling him a snitch for snitching on Reggie Bush. Let's get into this. Is real journalism still alive? I like to think so over here at the DAMU KIWE.
Jello XD Block, Silverback Gorilla up in here, man. Streaming over 1 million viewers and listeners and all that. Indiscretion TV, Valentino #1, Tupac channel, streaming over 2 million viewers and listeners, man. That's crazy. Y'all rock.
Discretion TV, the channel you can finally count on. Now, recently on Reggie Jr., aka Pork Butt, and John Highland from Butt First, aka Bomb First, with them butt plugs over there. Today they released a video with Tata trying to expose Suge Knight, but neither Veggie, John Highland, or Tata came clean about what Tata did to Reggie Bush. And according to the streets of Compton, allegedly, Tata was driving Buntry's truck after Buntry got hit. Did they tell you that? Drop comments below. Yeah, Simon don't got to reply to this one. Well, if you know sports, and if you know the streets, Tata was the one sports ratting. He was like a sports informant. And he's the reason why Reggie Bush lost the Heisman Trophy. Drop comments below. You want me to believe anything this man say on the phone about Suge Knight? You know, that channel been taking L's all week. Is this your round 4? Butt First with butt plugs? Is this your round 4? You want me to believe anything Tata has to say about Suge Knight when he let this man lose his Heisman Trophy?
Tata, you bitch ass nigga.
I'm gonna beat the dog shit out you.
And ain't gonna be the first
Trying to rap.
BeatStars.com.
And you butt first fanboys with them butt plugs over there, y'all going to say, but Reggie Bush got the Heisman Trophy back. It doesn't matter. Using Suge Knight's old TMZ clips, using Suge Knight's copy and paste phone conversations illegally recorded to try to gain points. Is this your round 4? I'm just asking questions. Because I don't believe shit that man said, especially when he let Reggie Bush lose his Heisman Trophy. Drop comments below. Get the likes up for me. Discretion TV, Friday night, late night.
5 would conclude with Bush taking home the most prestigious award in college football. However, an estranged sports agent wanted that legacy torn down. While Reggie was making history at USC, his family had allegedly moved into a 3,000 square foot home that overlooked the Sweetwater Reservoir that was purchased by Michael Chief Michaels for $757,237 in April of 2005. Michaels is a business partner of Lloyd Lake, who were trying to set up a sports marketing company called New Era Sports and Entertainment. Their company hoped to bring Reggie on board as a client, but Bush chose otherwise. And by NCAA rules, athletes and or their relatives or friends cannot accept benefit from any person who represents any individual in the marketing of his or her athletic ability.
NCAA rules. This weirdo fanatic is talking about an NCAA rule. Well, Hustler could give a fuck about another company's rules. They see opportunity to get a bag. It's all inclusive, nigga. Fucking weird ass shit you on. You talking about a rules violation. Who gives a fuck whether or not he violated a rules violation? This nigga owes me over $1 million. And I tell him to give me my money, and he goes to the Fed. Drop a 1 in the chat. Hit that like button if you're just coming in. You drop a federal RICO investigation for extortion on me, asking you for my money, instead of paying me my money, instead of signing and honoring the agreement that we had. Drop a like if you ain't already liked. But you over here talking about Tata is the rat. Well, he lost his Heisman Trophy. His dumb ass didn't stick to the agreement. His dumb ass didn't want to pay Tata his money. That's a decision that nigga made. His dumb ass want to go to the feds and get a RICO started for extortion because he don't want to pay this nigga his money. And he's so damn dumb. He's so dishonorable. He want to suck these mountaineers' dick, right? Instead of go with the new black company, 2 black brothers that were there for this nigga when he wanted to live this life, wanted to be on the Hollywood scene, marketable. He wants to be at Laker games with Kim Kardashian, front row seat. It was cool when the nigga was bestowing these gifts upon this nigga when he didn't have nobody else there to do it, right? He was agreeing to that when it was fortunate. He was unfortunate and his stepfather couldn't pay the mortgage and needed an $800,000 home. It was all good just a week ago. But when a nigga say, give me my money, you go put a federal investigation on him. And he's telling on him. Hey, look, bro. Let me see where it's at. 1. So where's the paperwork? Discretion TV. Because we just read to you. Teasy say Tata ain't right. Where's the paperwork, Teasy? The Kardashian effect is real. Fuck the Kardashian effect. We talking about this nigga saying, and now Teasy in here saying that Tata ain't right. Where's the paperwork? Because see, business I see is a lot over a lot of you niggas' head. Not snitching on somebody on a criminal case because you've chosen, and it depends whose morals you subscribe to. Because some organizations allow snitching, like the cartel, that's very common among them. The Italian mafia, you just don't snitch on your friends. You know, it's different, but I come from the West Coast, and our structure is you don't snitch on people in our community. You don't go put the feds on this shit. The Kardashian effect, top of the morning, top salutes, Senior General Trav to everyone. DAMU KIWE conversation. He got his Heisman took. Teasy, is you slow? Bro, the nigga got his own Heisman took, nigga. He went to the feds. Look, bro. You got to deal with me. Let me see if I can find that real quick, bro. You got to deal with me, a sports deal with me that you know you ain't supposed to be having, right? Nah, that ain't it. Damn, where the hell is that goddamn? I'm finna find that article just for you. Just for you, brother. Because you must not have been here. Because I know you ain't slow, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that, brother. You know what I'm saying? And is it this one? Suge Knight Enforcer? Or was it the Law Professor? Okay, so it wasn't on this one. Hit that like button, man. We cooking. I was finna end the live after this video, but so here it go right here. I'm glad we can get back to the discretion video and end this after this, right? We're gonna go to multiple articles, right? A report on yahoo.com. Oh, y'all probably can't see this. Let me show them because I want you to be able to see this. Yeah, make sure you see this. A report on yahoo.com states that a federal investigation of possible extortion of former Heisman Trophy winner Reggie Bush includes tapes made by sports marketers who may have given Bush and his family large financial benefits while he was a student athlete at USC. The allegations of improper payments first emerged after Bush finished his career at USC in January 2006, and there were claims that he agreed to be the first client for a new sports marketing agency. So, Teasy, Shaq say LSU was paying him. Let me give you this, right? He said this after the fact recently in the NBA. All kind of other sports, Gilbert Arenas, all of these other athletes are talking about fringe benefits in ways that they were student athletes getting compensated while in college, mostly by white sports agents. Soon as a black sports agent do it, and he's looking out, and they're getting these fringe benefits with an express agreement that he would be signing, which is, you know, as good as a contract, right? That he would be signing with this new sports agency in return for the tickets at the Laker game with Kim Kardashian, you know what I'm saying? and for marketing purposes moving forward. Well, the day of the draft, he changes his mind. He wants to run with the Mountaineers. Decision he made after entering this agreement with Tata, right? He went and said that. So Tata said, okay, you owe me my money. Run me my money. Run me my money. This is a business deal. What the fuck the streets got to do with a business deal? What? Now, run me my money. I want a ticket or 2 tickets or 3 tickets, whatever amount of money Tata wanted in return for what him and his agency had invested, plus, time, etc., interest and whatever he come up with. And Reggie Bush runs to the federal authorities and tell them about this deal. Tata's not the one that told them about the deal. They went and told the federal government about this illegal deal. So Tata said, look, fuck all of that. We did this. He's agreed to sign with my agency. He's not lying, but it's not extortion. So to defend himself against false allegations, which the allegations were false, because it appears that Reggie Bush signed a non-disclosure agreement and settled out with Lloyd Lake and that sports agency. Hit that like button. He got his Heisman taken because his dumbass filed a federal investigation for extortion, bro. And once the investigation starts, it all comes out. The truth that he was not being extorted, bro. I pray Trump pardon Suge. Let's start a petition. I'm a street nigga that got his own business. If you owe me, we going to court. I'm getting my money. That's not telling this is business. Yeah, I just walked back in. Okay, see, I know you wasn't that slow. How did he get his Heisman took when Reggie the one that went to the feds? Reggie didn't want to pay back the money, so he told on himself. Facts, bro. Facts. Duse talking to my brother on the speaker, and he said, what you said on Suge, he telling. He said, Duse talking to my brother on the speaker, and he said, what you said on Suge, he telling. Yeah. Hey, listen, bro, we already did that. We ain't going to keep rubbing it in. I know the B team got to take this loss, but this nigga's on SNY yard. He's a PC. I didn't know Tata for being on SNY yard. We was general population. He stood up as a man and did his time from that little weed shit he played out to. You know what I'm saying? 600 pounds or 200 pounds, whatever it was, when he was doing the weed thing. You know what I'm saying? What I know him from is from doing business. When I got out, that's who introduced me to CJ Mack. When I got out the feds, that's who introduced me to Sugar Boogie. So you talking about and defending Suge Knight, who I could give 2 fucks about, right? He comes off as the head of the snake because he was surrounded by a bunch of rats and snakes that some people and everybody I talked to except Tata told me was a solid individual, was a snake. Everybody except Tata. And I don't know that many people that knew Suge, but the ones that I knew always had something bad to say, negative to say about him. So him snitching, yeah, we're going to highlight that. If you don't like that, holla at Suge for being a Nino Brown in prime time on Cuomo. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you can't get mad at me because he want to point fingers on homicides, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Cold cases, nigga. Now, fuck Suge, fuck Veggie Wrong. We talking about Lloyd Lake, Tata. You came in and said he's no good, and why did he get his Heisman taken? We just told you. He went to the feds because he didn't want to pay Tata after he licking the nigga out of his money. I don't know about you, but I ain't got $100,000 to just give to nobody, let alone multiple $100,000 to be just given away. Nigga, I want every red penny. Run me my money. Don't play with my money, nigga. So, Reggie Bush calls the feds. Okay, my bad. Look, Teasy said, I went to Arkansas to play football. I know who get paid. Exactly, bro. But as soon as a black man get in the mix, 2 black men with a sports agency company, house nigga like Reggie Bush says, well, fuck that, I'm gonna use them and I'm finna go with the white people and I ain't gonna pay them niggas shit. Fuck them niggas. I mean, this is really what's going on. Here goes another one. Check this out, right? We're gonna go back. Listen to this one. The Associated Press is reporting that San Diego U.S. Attorney's Office has issued multiple witnesses in a probe into whether New Orleans Saints running back Reggie Bush took cash and gifts while in college. The AP says the existence of taped conversations between Reggie Bush or members of his family and an investor in a failed sports marketing agency could confirm the New Orleans Saints running back received cash and gifts while playing for Southern California. Yahoo.com reported Wednesday. That's Reggie Bush. That's Lloyd Lake. A federal investigation into extortion claims by Bush. Reggie Bush claims that the sports marketing agency, which is Tata and his partner, were trying to extort him. Bush and his family revealed the existence of taped conversations. Extortion claims made by Bush began a federal investigation. He told about this whole situation. Oh, you couldn't even see it. He told about the whole situation, and it came to bite him in his ass. Being grimy, karma struck him in his ass, and he settled out with Tata for an undisclosed amount. I went to Arkansas. Yeah, of course. He just asked me, isn't what Keefy D doing snitching? Hell yeah. Then how Suge different? Says, peace to you, King. Hey, bro, Jerry Griffin, if what Keefy D was doing was snitching, and Pork Butt say Keefy D is the biggest snitch in LA history, then what it should? Yeah, but people ain't gonna hold it. Oh yeah, facts. If I'm Tata, run me my bag. Yeah, hell yeah. Teasy even said it got took from Reggie's own doings, trying to say Tata extorted him, and the NCAA took it from Reggie. He tried to not pay him and go sign with somebody else. He could have just paid him back. Bro, if he would have paid him back off the top, he wouldn't even he would have still had his Heisman. Yeah, Mike B, I see Reggie try to backdoor. He wasn't trying to pay. College recruitment for football program athletes is scandalous. Maybe one day someone will expose it. Well, now it's through the NIL and all of that stuff. They able to get paid. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? When you go to the feds about money, they audit niggas. Now you got a money laundering extortion RICO. Why? Keefy telling on dealers, Suge telling on killers. Let's be honest, Reggie Bush used Tata and ran to the Vikings to business. That's what happened, man. A sellout. And niggas call a nigga that get bamboozled, that had to fight for every cent he had coming, because this nigga wanted to be a house nigga. And now niggas call him, that shit is crazy. But look, that's the end of this one, man. Oh, no, we didn't finish that video. But yeah, that nigga is the one that started the investigation. And niggas just running with that, I guess, because that was the narrative that they had the crooked news media pushing. Talk about Tata, gang member. Nigga, Tata's, every time we pull up something, it's talking about Tata and his money. You want to label a nigga a gang member when every time you talk about him, it has something to do with him and his money. That sounds like a hustler to me, man.
Later sued the family after Bush did not sign with this agency. Lake wanted to recoup $291,600 in cash, living arrangements, and other benefits provided to Bush between November 2004 and January 2006. Lake and Michaels would admit Bush's family failed to pay more than $50,000 in rent. This case will result in years of arbitration. The NCAA reached a conclusion in 2010 when they announced sanctions against USC. The NCAA found that Bush had received lavish gifts from Lake and his partner Michael Michaels from at least December 2004 onward, including a limo ride to the 2005 Heisman Trophy presentation. As a result, USC was given 4 years probation, forced to vacate its last 2 wins of the 2004 season, as well as all of its wins in the 2005 season. The Trojans were also banned from bowl games in 2010 and 2011 and lost 30 scholarships over 3 years. And lastly, the NCAA forced USC to disassociate itself from Bush. Amidst reports that the Heisman Trophy Trust would strip his award, Bush voluntarily forfeited his title as the 2005 winner.
Sure, don't seem like the prosecution is that bad against him. Don't seem like I think he got some favors with the government. I think they're going to show him a little leeway. It might not seem like it when it's all said and done, but I don't think he has nothing to worry about. I don't think he's worried because he's going to be federal. And if he gets convicted, Trump's going to pardon him. So what's the worry?
You think the president of the United States would pardon Sean Combs for sex trafficking?
Yeah, that is a good question. If Brett Favre did all that and he wasn't prosecuted, why is they on Suge? Hey, also, why is they on Big U about the shit? Also, if Death Row, those money crimes, Death Row ended up getting a deal like that, imagine what Big U might be able to get on a deal on his money crimes. They talking about 6-month-olds is white collar crime. What if he could get a deal like that? Because that other shit with the Hobbs Act and loose coochie, that shit gonna fall by the wayside. They ain't even charged them for no hot one because they just used that to keep him so he couldn't get a bail. You know what I'm saying? Because it's serious violence that he had nothing to do with. That dummy fucked himself bad, shaking my head and fucked over USC. I bet they called him all kind of dumb motherfuckers. Fact. Preach, dudes, loot from the loot. See, Suge knows something. Suge know everything. Mike B, I got to run the line out to M, audio. Then from there to my iPad, then I Bluetooth speaker. Janky, I know, but if I want to make music, I will no matter what. Hey, man, we appreciate that. But look, we're going to make this one. We're going to cut this one short. Hit that like button, share. I'm going to be sharing this to everybody because I know that we just did it earlier. So we'll promote this to everybody to bring the numbers up. And I'm sure most people will check it out. We stay tuned. Turn on your notifications. We're going to be going live later. I think I'm going to be interviewing the homie Infamous Z. You know what I'm saying? He got some new music, got some shit we gonna talk about. I want to introduce y'all to one of the young homies, Infamous. Y'all stay tuned. We'll make the link soon. Hey, it's been another episode of the DAMU KIWE Conversation. Brett Favre robbed them for millions and nothing was done. Yeah, of course. But they go after Big U who helping the kids. It's nasty work. We gone though. Salute.